Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 83 of Summon Sign, Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellison. Joining me, I got Cobra Commander himself here for another one-on-one intimate session. Colin Moriarty. Colin, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, Cobra La. It's good to be here with you guys today, and we're recording on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. You're going out of your way for me because you're going to be hosting the Sacred League, which would have already happened by the time this goes live, I guess. But yeah, we did promise we were to revive that with you. Mm-hmm. It makes most sense to do it live, I think. Really looking forward to seeing what you came up with, and hopefully you finagled it in some way so that I win. I don't really think I need any help, though.
I could do that. I can do that. I could pick questions that are tailored towards you.
I know more about video games than this little thumb right here.
Yeah, like if I'm doing
than those two schmucks.
Listen. I can do wild arm questions. None of them are going to know any of that shit.
No.
Obscure JRPGs, you're good.
I want to keep it fair. You know, like
yes,
Chris cheating, for instance, in the last sacred competition we did. We can't have that happening.
Right. Yeah, can't have Chris cheating anymore. It's offensive.
Yeah, it is. It's offensive. It's offensive. You got away with it. It was offensive that I had to play Kingdom Hearts because of it. But I was kind of hoping to lose that. This is what I was saying. I don't know if I said it publicly, but I was saying it to Dustin. Maybe it was like I kind of wanted to lose because I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts on the stream.
Yeah,
so
it's good content.
It all worked. Yeah, exactly. So it all worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about your thoughts on all that kind of stuff because I'm curious. I didn't get to check the whole stream, but I saw a couple parts. Dustin didn't have the knowledge though that I thought he would for the first game.
He's a complete disappointment.
Love you, Dustin. Because he's probably listening right now, editing this, just be like, you motherfuckers.
What a disappointment.
All right. Before we end the show, everybody, please check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia. If you'd like to support us, you can get early ad-free access to all of our shows, including Sacred Symbols, our flagship that Colin hosts. PlayStation, always goofy shit going on there, so it's a fun listen. I'm sure you're aware of it if you're listening to this already. Defining Duke Xbox podcast, very fun listening to that show because Xbox is an interesting camp to be in right now. I'll say that. And Punching Up, our Nintendo podcast. If you want to hear Colin's wife talk about very perverted shit and post perverted pictures in our Discord. What's going on with that, Colin?
I don't know. She's a weird cat.
Yeah, she's by far the biggest gooner.
Works out for me.
Yeah, she is the biggest gooner at this company for sure. Yeah. I thought Gene
works out great for me. Yeah,
but she's got fan art saved on her computer. Oh boy,
yeah,
that fan art is gnarly.
She's an interesting person.
Yeah, she sure is. She's been bugging me to go to Cheesecake Factory for like months, man. And I finally went.
Yeah, she said
she was very happy.
What did you think?
Well, I've been there before. It's just been a long time, and it's fun. It's good.
Cheesecake Factory is actually pretty good, I think. Yeah. I gotta tweet how many there are because it's amazing how few there are. There's an interesting stat, so let me find it.
Oh,
how many
cheesecake stats?
Yeah, how many cheesecake factories are there? 362 and 200. Yeah, okay. So 214 in the US, right? So interesting factoid about Cheesecake Factory. They only have 200-ish restaurants, and they make more money than Chili's, TGI Fridays, all these places that sometimes have 600, 700, 1,000, 1,200. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
When I saw that stat recently, I don't know what it was for. I was like, wow, that's crazy. They make a lot of fucking money. Two things about Cheesecake Factory otherwise. When Cheesecake Factory opened on Long Island and when I was in high school, it was out near the city and people used to really go like out of their way to go there. And then when I was in college, I used to go with my girlfriend at the time. We would go like every Friday. That was like our nice meal, was going to the Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake, okay.
And we could probably do it for like, I mean, it's be impossible now, but like with a tip and everything, $30 probably between.
Yeah.
So this was like a nice little balance. When I had moved from Boston to San Francisco and worked at IGN, after that restaurant had turned into like, it was Cheesecake Factory for me in Boston. And then it became the Olive Garden for me in San Francisco. Where I was like, And now I kind of think of both of those places. Not so much, the Cheesecake Factory doesn't really gross me out, but Olive Garden, when I just think about it, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I was so into this place, but it was actually the guys I lived with, this gay couple. They loved it. And
Really?
I used to go with them as like their third wheel.
Maybe because you grew up in a proper Italian family, you know, with proper Italian cooking. So having Olive Garden is probably quite a step down.
Yeah. It was also like, we're Sicilian and we it's very specific things that we make and eat or whatever. And so it's cool. There's like a whole spectrum of Italian food I'm not familiar with or I didn't eat, you know, like we eat very peasant food and like meat sauce and meatballs and sausages and just lots of pasta and ziti, baked ziti and lasagna and shit like that. Like, but like the lighter fare, the more sophisticated fare. But what I've always been fascinated by with Italian cuisine is like the Colombian exchange is what gave Italians tomatoes.
Yeah.
And so it's just so funny to think that Italian food is like a mixture of like the New World settlers coming over with tomatoes and then like Marco Polo coming over with pasta from, you know, noodles from China.
Yeah.
And then they put those things together. And
that's how
now
things
it's Italian
happen,
food.
Yeah, that's how things happen, dude. Appropriated. Get owned, bitch.
I love a little cultural appropriation. Love it.
Yeah, man. Makes the world go round.
Si,
senor. You said Italian peasant food. What's Italian like upper class food?
A lot of meats, you know,
like deli meat.
I think I'm not an expert at all, but I think that there's like very specific Northern Italian cuisine, coastal, central, like Roman Italian. And yeah, so like we were always, I don't know very much about this, and because I'm not really one of these guys. I talk about it sometimes, but I don't really give a fuck where I'm from. Like I'm American. Right. I'm an American. Like I don't care. Especially the Irish side. Like I could care less about the Irish side. But it's like, it's interesting how little I really know and understand about all of it too.
Yeah.
Like the finer points of it. And a lot of it is just because I'm like, I don't care. It's like, whatever, man. You know?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
American, bro.
Yeah, we're American through and through. We're born here.
It's so cringy to like fly another country's flag when you've been here for 100 years. You know, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It always. Did you see The Sopranos? I always bring this up. Have you seen this?
No, I've never seen it.
It's not a spoiler, but there's a scene like a season where like some of them go over to Italy for some reason, and like how much the Italians just don't even give a fuck about them, like how they're fake Italians basically, and like make fun of them, like, and they have expectations of what Italian is that's not real. Very similar, you know. It's like Chinese food in the United States. And I had a friend, Stephanie, who's Chinese, and she would always tell me, she's like, come over and have dinner with me and my family one night, and you'll see what Chinese food is. You know? Because it's not fucking sesame chicken over white rice, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Did you go?
No. Too intimidating.
Yeah, I was like too scared. Yeah, that sounds intense, man. I don't know if I'd want to go either. That seems like a threat almost.
Yeah, it's too likely there's going to be seafood involved, and I'm not going to be dealing with that. And it's very similar to when in my time in Japan, the game is they're fish in it, and you'd play this game and you'd win and you'd lose. Yeah, and sometimes there was probably fish in it, and I didn't know, and that's okay. Probably in some of the ramen stock and shit like that, as long as you can't 100%. Taste it. But I do remember going to a 7-Eleven, which is huge there, or maybe it was Lawson's. You know, like they have a convenience store culture there, and like eating what I thought was like a chicken patty sandwich, and I think it was like a fish sandwich instead. I was like, oh, this is fucking gross. But thankfully it was in Japan, so it was like 10 cents.
Yeah. I don't like seafood at all. Yeah. So I'm like, if I ever went to Japan, man,
you'll be all right. I don't like seafood at all either, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we got to play the game though. Is there fish in it? It's a dice roll.
We should go over there together and have like a stupid American kind of like tour through. Apparently, I'm so glad I got to go over there before people really started going to Japan. Yeah. And apparently they kind of hate tourists now. And I don't know if you saw,
I don't blame
the guy who I don't know anything about their political systems at all, but I was reading that like the person who's kind of coming up and is like, I guess a favorite maybe to be the next premier or president or whatever is like vehemently anti-immigrant and like anti-Western.
Damn.
Yeah. And
really?
Like, cause like I don't blame them. It's like, you see these videos of people going over there and just acting the fool. And
it's so dumb.
I feel bad for them, and I feel bad for people that like that are foreign and want to really ingratiate themselves in the society and live there and stuff like that. So everyone hates foreigners, it seems like.
Yeah. That's a common thing. Everyone unites behind. Everybody, no matter where you're from. All right, Colin. A couple weeks ago, I went through the games coming out for the rest of the year with Lockmort, our Belgian friend. I always wonder.
Speaking of foreigners,
yeah.
Speaking of foreigners, I hate.
I feel like it's not an episode of Semitine if I don't make fun of, or someone makes fun of Lockmort at least once.
It's a term. He's one of the people that it's an endearment. It's I wouldn't say anything about him at all. If I didn't like him, I just would ignore him.
Yeah, Lockmort's legit the best dude. He rules, man. But yeah, we went through a list of all the games we're excited for coming out for the rest of the year. So we're going to do that with you, Colin. You have your list prepared. And I'm very curious to see what you're excited for. Primarily because you usually just play on PlayStation. Well, exclusively on PlayStation. Yeah, so I want to see, because you'll probably dig up some stuff I didn't even think about because you're so ingrained in that ecosystem.
PlayStation till I die.
That's right.
Don't you understand?
I do understand.
It's what made me powerful.
That's true. It did make you powerful. Yeah.
People are like, you should play on everything. And I'm like, yeah, let me give up the thing that gave me this life. That's a great idea. Maybe that's a really wonderful idea.
I mean, if you play on something, it doesn't mean you can't play on PlayStation still, or primarily.
We don't mess with it. When an object is going through space, it just goes straight. And then when you tap it, it can go wildly off course.
Yeah.
You let the inertia do the job.
That's true. Listen, audience, the only way to get Colin to play something outside of his wheelhouse that he wants to play is he's got to lose a bet. That's pretty much it.
Or you pay me.
Or I pay
him. Someone was like, how much would it cost you to platinum all the Kingdom Hearts games? I was like, $100,000.
That's a lot. Yeah.
You pay me $100,000 and I'll do it. Yeah. So, that's
you could do it, man. I think there's how many would you have to do? 1, Chain of Memories. 2, Birth by Sleep. I don't know if 2.9 has one, but 358 doesn't have one. Dakota doesn't have one because they're movies now. You have 3D or Dream Drop Distance, yeah. Then 3, you can do that. 7, I think.
$100,000, like I'll gladly do it,
dude. I'll do it for $50,000.
Wow, you're undercutting me. That's interesting.
Because I've already done some of them, so you can
that's the market.
That'd be so funny. Fundraise for that'd be awesome, dude. Or we could just be like, hey, we have to get to an absurdly high number for Colin to platinum all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Getting close to, I'm not that close. I thought I was platinuming things at such a rate earlier this year where I'm like, I'll get to this goal before the end of the year, but it won't happen this year now. There's no way. I'm almost at 200. I'm at 183 or 184, I think.
Wow, platinums? Wow.
So I got to figure out what that 200th platinum is going to be, because I want to say that the 100th platinum I got was Twin Breaker, and I think that was intentional. I have to look.
That's a good one.
I'm also almost at 15,000 trophies.
Wow.
I think I'll hit that in the next
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But you're a trophy guy.
Crazy is one word for
it. Yeah. But I love trophies too. But I don't. Do you platinum games even if you don't really like them that much?
Yeah, I used to on PS3 much more.
Okay.
And Vita a little bit, but I started. If I'm not like crazy, if I have to be into a game in some respect to platinum it. I'm not going to play trash. Like there was a time when I played trash, and I don't feel so bad about it anymore, because like the trash we would play for trophies were actually hard. I've said this a million times. If a platinum took 10 or 15 hours in the PS3 era, that was actually considered an easy platinum, and people would. That's like unheard of now. Like an easy platinum is literally 5 minutes. So they ruined that whole thing. But I played games like Where the Wild Things Are, and
did you guys do Hannah Montana?
I did play it, but I couldn't deal with it. Like, so even that was, I was like, I do have some of the trophies for it, because that was one of the, that's so funny that you know that. That's one of the first notoriously easy platinums. But even that took like 15 hours, I think.
Yeah, I want to say I remember you guys talking about, because you guys were like competing for platinums, right?
Yeah, we did what was called the Trophy Whore War.
That's it, yeah.
Which is so surprising that IGN let us do something called that. They would have never let us do that today. Like,
I know.
Use the word whore. Like, and it would be like on the front page, you know, of like IGN.
Yeah. Well, it was good content, man. So like, I think I had no problem. I personally wouldn't get trophies for games I don't care about, really, but it's content. Mm-hmm. So it worked out perfectly, dude. It was actually a genius move. You got that trophy level up, and it's good for business.
There were also those games, like there were some bullshit games. There was like a Frogger game that was somewhat easy, but it was all silver trophies. There was that game Detuned. Do you remember that?
No.
DETUNED. It was more of like an experiential thing on PS3, and it didn't have a platinum, but the trophies can be gotten in like 2 minutes. There was that other thing called Linger in Shadow.
I remember that game. Yeah,
it was called a demo scene game from the studio Plastic, the Polish team. They ended up doing that game that was actually pretty good on PS3 called Datura. Do you remember that? Datura? I
never played that, I don't think, but I remember that name.
So yeah, there were some easy stuff, but the platinums were not easy to get. The worst game I ever played for a platinum was Leisure Suit Larry Box Office Bust, which was. God. I remember it like it's so visceral to me. Is like I lived in an in-law in San Francisco. This was before I moved with Greg later on, and I like literally was screaming into a pillow while I was playing the game, like sitting Indian style on my bed, like because it was during the Trophy Horror War, and like we were trying to compete. And the other thing is that when we did the Trophy Horror War, Greg and I were at such a disadvantage because we were already trophy hunters and we were competing against people that hadn't gotten a lot of the trophies yet, so they could go and pick off a bunch of shit. Yeah. So we ended up losing, I think, anyway, which was even the worst part.
Damn. Same times, dude.
What a job.
Yeah, what a job. Oh, man, that's funny. All right, dude, let's start with your list. What's the next thing on your list of playing?
All right, well, so I gotta preface it because there are games that I've missed that I need to get to.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly how this is going to fuck up things. I think it's going to fuck up things pretty profoundly, actually, but I think there's a pocket. So I've played 170 hours of Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2 consecutively.
Wow.
Like I've played nothing in between other than Kingdom Hearts on the stream, which we'll get to, and Mario 3, which we can also talk about actually on here.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I got to the 7th world before losing all my lives in Mario 3, but I did like a no skip run, like do every stage.
Yeah.
Because it's fairly trivial to skip stages, use P-Wings.
You don't skip stages, man. You want to play those stages.
Yeah, like I usually do skip stage 1-4 because it really is there for no reason. But even then, it's like I played it. It's also an auto-scrolling stage anyway. So I've really been playing Death Stranding and like Death Stranding, the universe of Death Stranding for probably 6 or 7 weeks.
That's crazy.
And that has taken a lot of. I understand people saying like, I can't believe that you've put so much time into these games and you get bored. I think that's an interesting theory, and I understand why you would have that hypothesis, but I gotta say I'm not bored at all. Like, yeah, I love it. Like I'm just loving this game. I'm just in it. Right. So we'll get to that in a little while. So that has really fucked my schedule up badly. And I've also been playing a lot of old games this year because I feel like things were not coming out early in the year that were really interesting. Other than like Atom Fall and a couple other things, I think I've only played 4 or 5 games that have even come out this year.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. Like I should really look, but
I gotta think too. Maybe I've only done that much.
Because it's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm pulling up PSN profiles because it's like, what would it be? So let me scroll. Okay, so here's what I've played this year. Is I platinumed Doom 2016. I beat Doom Eternal. I played Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D for a long time, but I never beat it for some reason. I platinumed Silent Hill 2. Mm-hmm. So nothing this year yet. Vengeful Guardian Moonrider I beat. That's like a Genesis style game. I beat Trepang 2. That was a couple years ago. I platinumed Mafia 1. I platinumed Mafia 2. Those are both old games. I played Arizona Sunshine. That's an old game. I platinumed Phantom Fury. That's an old game. I played Civ 6 extensively for weeks, actually. That's an old game. Mm-hmm. I beat Mafia 3. That's an old game. I beat Turbo Overkill. That's an old game. I platinumed Final Fantasy V. That's an old game. I beat Evo Tinction. That's an old game. I did all the Astrobot DLC. That's old. Played Tactics Ogre Reborn extensively. Mm-hmm. That's old. Then I'm going to keep track. I played Atomfall. That's 1. I platinumed Breakout Recharged. I platinumed Breakout Beyond. That's 2. Breakout Beyond was pretty good. I platinumed The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered and fell down that hole. I beat Lunar. We'll count that because that came out this year. That did. I platinumed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I don't know if we're going to count that because it did come to PS5 this year. Let's just count it.
I would say that counts.
So that's 4. I played Shovel Knight Dig for probably 10 hours, so that's 5. And then Power Wash Simulator, I did a bunch of DLC. Claire Obscure. Yeah. That's 6. And then I beat Borderlands 2, I platinumed Director's Cut, and then now I'm on Death Stranding 2. So that's my entire run through the year so far. Yeah. The calendar year. So that's 7 games this year. But so I was like, all right, that's respectable. I would expect to have played more new games at that point, but I'm really playing everything that's interesting to me. Death Stranding is what interrupted that. Yeah. And so the 2 games that I absolutely have to get back to, and I will get back to, and probably I think be able to do 2 of these before almost any of these games come out that I'm going to talk about next. Is Doom: The Dark Ages. It's just sitting there. I bought it when it came out. Just sitting. Yeah, and I'll platinum it. I'll probably play it through once, pure, and then I'll use a guide to get everything in a second playthrough. And so that will probably take a week or 2. And then System Shock 2 Remastered. I got to play it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Really, really excited about that. Night Dive, obviously. There are rumors that they might be giving System Shock 2 the System Shock 1 treatment, where they really did remake it, but did it kind of in an old school aesthetic, because System Shock 2 Remastered is really just a remastered version of the original 99, 2000, whatever game. But I've never played it. And as people know, I'm a huge BioShock fan. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I love BioShock Infinite. I even like BioShock 2, the non-Levine stuff. But
yeah, I like BioShock 2.
And obviously, we're all excited about Judas. But System Shock 1 was a revelation. I was like, this game's fucking great. I was like, this is a great ass game, dude. And I know it's not what people played on the PC in the original. I watched a Let's Play of the original one. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to play it like this. But the way that they did it is awesome. So got to get to those 2 games. And I love Doom. And that's why I prepared platinuming Doom, beating Eternal. I'm excited. And I know people are not too hot on the Dark Ages. Actually, it doesn't seem like it's sold great. It seems like it's sold good, fair, maybe. And it doesn't seem like people are that into it, which is surprising to me. But I'm going to go in with an open mind. And I'm one of those guys that likes Doom 2016 more than Doom Eternal. And so it sounds like they went back more towards the simplicity, in my opinion, of Doom 2016.
It's my least favorite of the 3. It's still good. And definitely worth playing, but it's just my least favorite when I think about it.
All right, so here's the crazy thing: is that there's more than I thought this year. The year is going to get much busier. So for the 7 games that we counted, there's going to be more than twice that many that I'll probably have to play before the end of the year. So Ninja Gaiden Ragebound comes out July 31st. I'm all over that. The frustrating thing for me is that I'm actually really good friends with Koei Tecmo's PR head lead, because we worked at IGN for many years. He's a guy named John Robinson, JR. And he's a wonderful guy. And he always tries to offer me Tecmo Koei games where I'm like, no, I'm good. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's disappointing that I have to do this to myself. But this is one of those games where I'm like, I see it pop up on PSN profiles and people are playing it. And I'm like, oh, this is one of those games where if I were still in journalism or back in the day, I would have gotten the code and been like, I'm going home. Bye. It's like what happened when Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10 came out. I remember those days because I'm like, bye. And then I
just left. It's so funny.
And people understood. Like, there are games everyone understands. It's like, that's a game where it's like, okay, yeah,
that's your game. Yeah, you get it. Like, I'm personally excited. I love Ninja Gaiden 2, like you and Dagan, a lot. Like, that's what I grew up with. I know people grew up in the Shinobi camp, like Kong and stuff like that, but I was always in the Ninja Gaiden camp. And it's also made by the Game Kitchen, who made Blasphemous 1 and 2, which I really like, both of those games. So I'm very excited to see their take on it.
I only played a little bit of Blasphemous 1, probably. I bought it when it came out because it's obviously got this Castlevania thing going on. I probably played it for 1 or 2 hours only, and I don't remember really being into it. I think what I remember was that it was kind of heavy, and
he's a little heavier. Yeah,
which is Castlevania, but not Metroidvania. That's old Castlevania.
He's not as like graceful as Alucard or anything like that,
right? And I don't want to play a stiff Metroidvania. Like I want to play stiffer. I want to play stiffer 2D linear platformers. Those make sense to me. So like that feel of Castlevania 3 or Super Castlevania or something like that. But that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was like the dissonance for me, but who the fuck knows? And so it's got that people love those games.
Yeah, they're great. They're awesome.
So I'd like to go back to those at some point. Maybe I'll do that on stream.
Yeah.
But speaking of stream, I haven't said this yet, but I will do it unless something comes up. I'm not going to announce it publicly, but my intention is to stream Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, play it the first time on stream on that Friday, because it comes out that Thursday. I won't have time to play it anyway because we'll be doing Sacred. So like just jumping in that next Friday and seeing what it's all about.
Cool.
So that's number 1 is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Yeah, very
and
soon.
Then there's a period in late August, early September where there's like 8 games. I don't know if you've noticed this, but like it's real, and it's so weird. Is it not weird, Brad, to have anything coming out August 29th or something, or September 4th, nonetheless everything? Like back in the day, nothing came out then.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the sports stuff, and that was it, like Madden. So it's crazy that everyone's like congealing around this space. And I think it's because a lot of people are trying to get out of the fall now. thinking it's too competitive. So Gears of War Reloaded, August 26th, absolutely 100% playing that. And Mike and I will play it together. And I'm sure we'll stream that as well.
Oh,
that's a series that I do love, the original 3 Gears games. I never played them after that. I played Gears 4 actually fairly extensively because we did it for a sponsored stream at Kind of Funny, but I never beat it. And so it's going to be fun to go back. Gears is awesome.
Yeah. You going to platinum that one?
If it's the same as the original, no way. If
it's the multiplayer,
just the extent of what is required in multiplayer, and what it's actually not true to say I never played Gears multiplayer. The first time I ever played Gears was Gears multiplayer, but that's not what I cared about. And watching videos of people playing it makes me want to kill myself. It's like, damn, this looks like awful.
No thanks. I don't want to be bouncing around like a pinball.
It's like everyone jumping around and doing like the constant crouching, and I'm like, this is fucking lame, dude. No offense, but Gears 2 would be nice because then you can get into horde mode and all that kind of stuff, which would be cool too. And I'm sure that that's coming at some point. And then 2 days later, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, August 28th. Obviously. And then the next day, August 29, Lost Soul Aside. Now, what's going to probably end up happening with this is that I'll probably buy it, but not get to it. Sure. Maybe not even this year, and you'll see why, because things are still going to get a little hairy here, but I want to see more about it when they keep kind of reaffirming, I think, that it's not a Metroid, or I'm sorry, not Metroid. It's not a Souls-like, and it's
an action game.
Yeah. It's like good. And I think they're nervous because I think that I don't know anything about it. I'm just inferring because they keep talking about it. And I think that because I think they don't want to be interpreted as a Souls-like game, because that is both good and bad depending on who you're trying to appeal to.
Yeah.
And then that same day, August 29th, and I will play this that day just because it's going to be a lot shorter, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. You had brought this up.
Oh my
earlier.
God, it's so good, man. I played it. It was awesome.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
And then September 4th, Hell Is Us.
I'm curious about this game.
Me too.
I'm really curious about this game.
It's the game where like it doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Apparently. And like that's
cool.
Yeah, it's not, I don't always want to play a game like that. That almost no game does that is good, because I don't think I'd play many video games if that was the case. But to just have that option where a game is built around that is neat. And we'll see.
Yeah.
And then the next day, September 5th, this will be like a background game, but I'm just really in the mood for it, is Everybody's Golf Hot Shots.
Oh, hell yeah. I want to play this too.
I love golf games, golf video games. And typically on NES, I really wasn't into like, there was like NES Open and like all this nonsense. But like by the time you got to N64, Mario Golf, and just the sports games, the N64 and just Nintendo sports games generally were just really good. And that got me more open-minded into those games through GameCube. And then the last one I played, I think, was on 3DS, which I wasn't into really, the Mario Golf game there. I never played that one. I didn't think it was great. And then, so just something cartoonish, I think that will be nice and pleasant to play. And then August 8th, so 3 days after that, is Mafia: The Old Country.
Yeah. That'll be short. You'll probably beat that in a day or two.
And yeah, that'll be, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Linear, tight.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a smaller, shorter game.
And then this is weird. I'm just looking at this now and not realizing this. Borderlands 4, September 12th. Take-Two is just releasing 2 big games 4 days apart. Why are they doing that? Why wouldn't you try to separate these games?
I don't know. Maybe they think they're different audiences or something.
They definitely are different audience games. And I don't think I think Borderlands is going to just sell millions of copies. It's going to be impervious to competition. But so that'll be there. Now, Borderlands 4 is another game that I don't think I'm going to get to immediately, mostly because I think I'll be pretty stacked up with other things. And I did replay Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 and beat them both for the first time, because I only played them deeply. I never really beat them. And Borderlands 3, ironically, is the game I played the most, probably like 70 hours or so, and never beat it. And I would like to kind of just go through. I've already done a lot of the work. It would be cool to like beat Borderlands 3 and then go into Borderlands 4. Not that they're that important in terms of their interconnectivity.
No, but I get it. It's like, it's just hanging there. Might as well just finish it.
So I feel like Borderlands 4 is maybe like a holiday game when we're off for a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Which will be later, obviously. And then September 25th, Silent Hill F. I'll obviously play that immediately. I think that game looks awesome. And then 5 days after that is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Iblis Chronicles.
Day one.
September 30th, obviously day one.
Platinums, day one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the trophies. I hope they do a really
Yeah.
thoughtful trophy list. People have long fantasized about a trophy list for Final Fantasy Tactics. It's cool
I know,
that
I'm really stoked.
and I think that I'm a little nervous because I feel like Tactics Ogre Reborn, obviously different series, but same publisher and maybe same mentality. I feel like that trophy list kind of sucks. And it requires so much replay and stuff. Now, it is important. Final Fantasy Tactics is much more linear than Tactics Ogre, so they'll have to play it differently. But I hope they do. Play around with the classes, force people to like explore the side quests and do all that kind of stuff. Like make it fun, not a chore. And then a couple days later, October 2nd is Ghost of Yotei.
Yep.
And then the next one, this is probably the one that I'm least interested in, but I want to check it out. I want to see like what it is Double Dragon Revive on October 23rd. I feel like that could be kind of cool.
I hope it's good. I don't think it looks good visually at all, but you know, it's all about the gameplay for Double Dragon. So I hope, because you know, we grew up with Double Dragon.
Mhm.
You always want to root for Double Dragon, but I don't know.
In the first Double Dragon, the guy just punches your girlfriend in the face and steals her. It's like, holy shit. It's a hardcore game, dude. And then October 31st, this was delayed, unfortunately, to this date, I believe, but it looks, because I think it was supposed to come out maybe this month or early next month, and they delayed it because of physical copy problems, which is even more annoying, is a Terminator 2D No Fate. I think that game looks cool. Fucking sick.
Yeah. That does look cool.
Classic early to mid-gen Genesis style side scroller. And I say Genesis explicitly, like it's a Genesis game, not an SNES game. It had more of that adult graphical feel. And like, what's funny about those two platforms is that they have a lot of crossover, but actually they have a lot of their own games, like a lot of their own games. And they definitely have their own style. That's why I was saying earlier, Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, that game I played earlier this year, like that's a Genesis game.
Yeah,
for sure. Big ass,
different versions
chunky
of those
sprites
games too.
Right.
Of games. Like you remember Aladdin on SNES and Genesis, completely different.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
Really weird. And then let's see, Mina the Hollower is October 31st as well, and I'm gonna be all over that.
One.
And then there are some games that don't have dates that I don't think will make it this year, so I don't want to say them. There is one game that has been explicitly announced for this year but doesn't have a date yet, and it's maybe the one I'm most excited about in some way. Is a Power Wash Simulator 2, which they promise will be out late this year, and I'm gonna be all over that. Can't wait. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, dude. That game, it scratches something people's brain like perfectly. Something about it, man. People just love. I don't know. It's like therapeutic for a lot of people, you know?
It's so good, dude.
It like stressed me out playing that game. I don't know why. Like just sitting there, like maybe the tedium was too much for my brain.
You gotta be stoic. You gotta like kind of zone out.
Yeah. I think I prefer doing that kind of stuff more in real life. Like being out, like outside doing it maybe.
Yeah. I bought a power washer and started power washing outside. So
dude, that's crazy.
That's and it so really sick. Is. It's so satisfying. You bought a
power washer, dude.
I did. I bought a power washer, and it really translates. Like it's the same exact thing, really.
That's so cool.
Just with the different, even the color of the wands. It's a universal thing. I didn't really think about it, but it's like, you know, the green is this, the red is this, very similar to how like a razor blade is always the same size. Mike is the man in this relationship. I mean, like when we go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, it's like I really feel like I need to lean on her about these things.
Mm-hmm.
She went to a machinist high school and like worked in a factory and shit. She's like, she's out there grilling and she's smoking and doing all these things. And I'm here with my soft Victorian hands.
With your Mega Man toys, yeah.
And my Mega
Speaking
Man
of which,
toys.
I want to see did you get the new figures? Are they here yet?
No. I ordered everything, but no, nothing new.
I might buy Bubble Man.
Oh, Bubble Man looks great, dude. They announced more of them. They announced Guts Man and Bomb Man, so they've gone back to finish all Mega Man 1, and they look great. I always thought it was weird that they didn't, but Bomb Man's my favorite one from Mega Man 1, actually, so it's awesome that they're finally doing him. I love that.
Oh, okay, Bomb Man.
I love how he has like he uses the bomb and like he has that cool animation where he like throws it up and down.
Yeah.
Guts Man is like the iconic robot though from the game.
Him and Cut Man for sure.
Right. And I was always surprised that they didn't do him. So they're going back, and that's disappointing in some way, but it's good. It's like, all right, no more excuses. And I feel like they're going back because the series, I was talking to my toy dealer friend and he was saying like, this series ain't going anywhere, dude. Like this is doing really, really well. Like they're going to do them all. I think, you know, he didn't say this, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, they're going back and filling in the cracks there. And now there really is nowhere to go, but with like the really cool ones now, like 2, 3, even 4, if they get the 5 and 6, I mean, this would be incredible.
Dude, if you had
Tomahawk,
every Robot
man?
Master,
Come on, dude. Who do you want?
No, I would say if you had every Robot Master,
It's
that
what I
would be
always
like
wanted.
your dream. Yeah.
It was what I always wanted.
Yeah.
I remember when Amiibo came out, and I have you can't really see them, but I have a shit ton of Amiibo because I love them. They're on the bottom shelf behind me. But I only bought the ones that I wanted. Like I wasn't really, and I actually bought some of them secondhand from some of the audience too, because there was like ones that I was like for anyone I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Little Mac, Ice Climbers, Dr. Mario, whatever, Mega Man, obviously, and so on. But when those came out, I'm like, damn, dude, like these are so high quality. The reason I want these is, and I think most people want them, has nothing to do with the interactivity between the 3DS and the Wii U and shit. It's like, and later the Switch, it's like, these are just really great.
They just look cool.
They're just really great quality toys.
The Belmonts, man. Whew.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. But like these Mega Man toys are 5 times better than those because you can move them around. They're bigger, and they're perfect. That's like the crazy thing is like whoever's doing this, the 90s Mega Man cartoon, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember.
It's 70% there, right? It's like, it's not very high quality, but like, it's kind of there. They get it. They get what's fun about Mega Man. But like, this seems like it's 100% there. Like the design is perfect. That Bubble Man toy, dude.
Yeah. Wow. This is
incredible.
So yeah. He has the bubble too. That's so sick.
And I just can't, and I feel like they're kind of conspicuously doing the most boring ones. Like they're all awesome. I love them all, but Bubble Man and Woodman are kind of like, it's like, dude, where's like Quick Man and Metal Man and Crash Man? And like,
we're getting there.
Yeah. And that's what's so exciting is like, I feel like they're Mega Man fans and they know that. That's, I guess what I'm saying is like, it seems like they know that we're not going to give you Gemini Man yet. We're going to give you Mega Man using the Gemini laser.
Yeah.
Right. Like shit like that. And that says to me, yeah, this thing's going to last for a while. They're going to get through all of this. And I get so excited every time I see new ones. And the big one that they announced is Rush, which is awesome.
Yeah, finally. Before 3.
And so Snake Man will have been the only one from 3 and Gemini Man, Gemini Laser Mega Man from 3. But it's like Rush Jet and Rush Coil. It would have been really cool if they did Rush Marine too, which is
you could put Mega Man in it. Yeah.
But yeah, so excited about that. And so anyway, we got off on
cool
on a
toys.
tangent.
Yeah. That's right.
By the way, to wrap up what I was saying earlier that like, so we go to Home Depot or Lowe's sometimes. And I literally asked the question to a guy once. I'm like, are razor blades like universal? And I think he almost looked through me. Yeah.
It's like, you fucking idiot.
Well, because I didn't know, because I was buying like a new.
Well, how you gonna you gotta ask sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Can't know everything.
There's no such. I was told over and over again as a child there was no such thing as a dumb question. Turns out that's not really true.
Yeah, everyone's
There's
very judgmental.
so many examples of dumb questions, actually.
Yes. Yeah. So don't ask questions. Just Google it, I guess. All right. Great list, Colin, of stuff coming up. The ride never ends on game releases.
That's great.
Never.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. I mean, there's probably stuff I missed too, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is that other than Power Wash Simulator, it seems like things really slow down, reasonably so. But there's nothing for November or December for me that I could find.
Yeah, I'm still curious. Are you going to play Metroid Prime 4?
It's funny. I was thinking about that. I have the Switch right here.
Yeah.
I probably play it on stream.
Yeah,
it gives me an excuse to play different things.
I think
the games that
idea.
I really care about, I don't really want. Well, that's not really true because I really care about Ninja Gaiden and stuff. But like games where I really want to be focused on the world and like be in the world, I don't really want to stream those games. Metroid Prime is like, I would probably not play it otherwise if not for the excuse to do it. So yeah, the chances are I will play it.
Okay,
actually,
cool. Because I know you've played all 3 of them.
I have.
So
I have.
You got to do it, man.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the story or anything. Or even really much about playing them. Yeah, it's too bad that there's not an easier way to replay them because I would
only the first one. Yeah,
which is awesome.
It's a good it's a great like remaster, but yeah,
the first one was like I was like so immersed in that game. I loved it when it came out.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that game.
Right, 2002.
I remember hearing like Metroid first person. I was like, that sounds really bad. Until you played it, I was like, oh, wow, they did it. Good job, Retro.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Colin, let's talk about some of the biggest news stories of the year. You know, we're through, we're more than halfway through the year.
Sure.
Shit's crazy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, especially this year. So let's start with just one negative thing right off the bat. The Xbox layoffs. Got some notes here. Cut around 9,000 jobs. Turn 10 Studios loses 50% of its staff. Forza Motorsport canceled. Everwild canceled from Rare. The Initiative and Perfect Dark shut down. New ZeniMax Online MMO that was apparently so good Phil Spencer couldn't put the controller down during meetings. Canceled.
Apparently Hoag's brother was working on that.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
Because he worked on Elder Scrolls
ESO?
Online. Yeah.
Oh, crazy. And Raven and Sledgehammer affected as well. Call of Duty.
I like how you here in the notes you wrote Sludgehammer, which is such a better name.
Sledgehammer.
You know? Sludgehammer would have been a better name than Sledgehammer.
Yeah, you're right. Sledgehammer would have been way cooler.
It's a great name.
Mine's like
damn,
90s.
That's a great name. Unbelievable.
But yeah, you guys talked about this a little bit on Sacred Symbols, but it is a huge story that I want to say it's the straw that broke the camel's back for some people, but it's really not, because, you know, it's just, it is what it is and like that. But what do you think about all this kind of news going on here? Someone like you who for years and years and years saying Game Pass is not profitable, all that kind of stuff, and you got shit for years on that kind of stuff, and I've seen it happen, so it is what it is. But you're right on a lot of that kind of stuff. But
I get I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go for it. I was just saying, as a PlayStation guy, how does it feel what's it like from your perspective seeing all this go down?
I wish that I could have called what happened in my own sphere of influence as well as I called what happened in the Xbox sphere of influence. It's a little weird because I got things wrong in the PlayStation space. Not everything, but some things. Mm-hmm. But the Xbox stuff I called from a mile away. And I don't really want to gloat about that because it cost people their jobs and I think undid the brand in a lot of ways as we understand it. But it was predictable and it was surprising how many people drank the Kool-Aid on this thing and refused to understand any of the points that I was making about money in and money out and the way you train people to buy games and how that affects other things. I mean, dude, look at Final Fantasy 16 releasing. Look at these two examples, right? Forza Motorsport 5 or Forza Horizon 5 comes to PlayStation 5. That game came out in 2021. It is one of the best-selling games of the year when they released it 4 years later on PS5 because PlayStation people buy games by the millions, right? Yeah. And then Final Fantasy 16 comes to Xbox. Much newer game that itself sold 3 million copies in a few days on PlayStation when it came out. And it sells so few copies that it doesn't even chart in the top 20 at all. Yeah. And is the fifth best selling game on Xbox. And by the way, that the fifth best selling game on Xbox didn't chart on the list. Yeah. It's an inference that you can draw from that. And so they trained their audience to do things that was going to ultimately destroy a lot of their own assets. And the reality is that their multi-platform move would only have happened if they're masters of, this is a major company, like $1 trillion company. Like they know how to market and do PR and message things. And I don't want to say they have a gullible audience because that's not really what I mean. It's like they have an audience that for some reason just believes everything they say. While when PlayStation talks, I typically don't believe what they say, especially after the Jim Ryan exit and like how things came apart after he left and you realize like, oh, there's way more to this than a man who wants to retire. You know, you got to check your assumptions based on what these companies feed you. They can spin up any story they want. And the reality is that they were just spinning up weird stories that made it seem like a la carte sales on their console simply didn't matter. And they matter a great deal. Without a la carte sales on PlayStation, Sony would be finished. And I don't mean PlayStation, I mean Sony, because PlayStation would go away and Sony relies on PlayStation. You know, so like this is an important thing. Yeah. But I think the bigger thing with Xbox is just again, I don't like playing around with people's jobs, even if they're millionaires, and they could be very, very nice people, and they probably are. But like when I don't understand how Matt Booty has a job, I don't understand what value he brings, and the quality of the games they release, and the cadence is getting better, but it doesn't really matter. It's like they just don't know what they're doing. It seems like, and that stink is starting to permeate assets that they've acquired, and that's not good. That's what's happened with Sony and Bungie, and why that deal is so stupid is because now it's like a Sony entity, and it's like, well, you didn't buy it to be a Sony entity, you bought it to be Bungie,
right?
And you didn't buy Bethesda to have it get, disease ridden by being too close to a different fucking diseased body, and Activision, and all these other things. And that's too bad. And people rolled their eyes and laughed when I said, when they bought Activision, I'm like, Microsoft has an interesting choice here to make. I mean, it's not really a choice because you don't want to do this to your own people per se, but it's like, you could poach the Activision executives and install them in all these different places. They know what they're doing a lot better than your own people do. I fucking promise.
Mm-hmm.
But instead they just jettisoned all those great people, plus Bobby Kotick, of course, but there was many other people at Activision that made it run. And so that was kind of like a blown thing too. It's like, yeah, we'll give Matt Booty even more studios to run. We'll have an even bigger publishing arm that's going to be more reliant on this stagnant Game Pass thing it's just strange. I don't understand it. Everwild being canceled, I think I was wondering what was going on with Rare, specifically with Sea of Thieves. Like, is Sea of Thieves an anomaly, or is Sea of Thieves like the new Rare? And I actually think that it means that Sea of Thieves is probably an anomaly, because they toiled away on nothing for many, many years under Xbox. Rare Replay is super cool. I think that's a really cool product, but they just don't they're like the media molecule of Xbox, and seemingly maybe as inept. And maybe Little Big Planet, and maybe Little Big Planet was like an anomaly, It's
always those Brits.
Yeah, they're both British too. They have the same British whimsy, for sure. So I don't care about Everwild, but I just think it's too bad, because I know a lot of people were looking forward to it, but I think the writing was on the wall for that game for a while. Although I think he said earlier this year, Phil Spencer went and saw it, and he's like, oh, it's in great shape, and whatever the fuck he said. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he said something that made it seem like it was fine. And then the ZeniMax Online MMO, like, I am interested in the story behind that, because maybe no matter how good that game is, it might not be a space they want to play in. It might be one of those games where it's like, I don't know. Can we make this work? Like, MMOs, very competitive, incredibly competitive space, and very expensive. And you're dealing with, like, I'm sorry.
They already have two.
Right exactly. Now. And I think that ESO has been going for a long time, long before Microsoft, and Fallout 76 has as well. But these Fallout 76, I think, especially took a lot of work, and I'd wonder like how well it's really done, comparable to how much money they've put into it, and it just might not be a space you want to fuck around in. And I don't really blame them for that. It's just too bad that, I mean, shit, dude, you're even dealing with like competitors. Like, I'm always fascinated by Guild Wars, where it's like, I'm pretty sure it's all free. Like, you buy the game, right?
Guild Wars, I think Guild Wars used to be, I don't know what it is like now, but it used to be, you buy the game and there's no monthly sub like that.
Right. And so it's like, you are competing with all sorts of people that want to undercut you, and I don't know if it's really worth it. Just get out of it now, write it down. It's too bad they're going to lose a lot of talent. Because
they also have WoW, which is
of course, WoW, of course, right? Oh, so of course. Although that WoW cutscene that was going around recently I was like, this is awesome.
Oh my god, dude! Me and Locke were like laughing so hard at that shit in the Khadgar in the wheelchair, dude.
Dude, I'm sorry, but you're in a fantasy world,
Colin, dude,
where people are healing themselves and doing all sorts of things. You shouldn't. I don't really understand the wheelchair thing.
Colin, I loved Warcraft so much. I played WoW for over 10 years and stuff like that. Jeez. It's just like, man, I have no desire to go back, really. It's just
get a life.
It bums me out, dude. Bro, dude, WoW in 2004 was the shit when that game came out. It was I remember.
That was at my first E3. I remember it very well. I was in college at that time, and I had a lot of nerd friends that were really into it. I just never, ever wanted to play PC games. It was just a thing where I was like, nah. Yeah. Like, I always just like, there were certain things that I liked and like would mess around with. Even later, I first played Gone Home, for instance, on PC and stuff like that. But like, generally speaking, people were like, oh, you want to see this new game? I had my roommate Doug for a while. He was like a huge nerd, and he would like, and I'm like, nah, thanks anyway. I'm gonna go play fucking whatever PS2 game I was playing.
Play Mega Man Anniversary Edition. Yeah, play The Godfather. But yeah, I mean, dude, when that was such a sick moment in time. I'm really happy I was there right at the beginning. It was fucking great. But yeah, that game's been going on too long. WoW 2 is like my dream, but
yeah, I wonder. I mean, like I that's a game that could probably compete because it's got there are so many people that game has touched over time. Yeah. And it's been so relevant for so long and it makes money still and all that. So that's like a safe bet. You just have to be willing to spend a lot of money. I mean, that's like a $500 million project. Easy, I would say.
Yeah. It's just, those like Ship of Theseus things where it's been so long. WoW came out in 2004, it's like 21 years ago. So not a lot of the same people are there. And like, I'm not really pleased with the current state of WoW where it's at right now anyways. So if it's the same people making WoW 2, it might not be good still, regardless.
But I'm sympathetic to that. And I say this as an outsider, but I just don't know what you're supposed to do with a game like that at some point. It's so old. And I don't think that they imagined that people would still give a shit about it all these years. Like it wasn't made to be played for this long. I don't think any game is really, especially in that era, was ever made to be played for this long. Because even like EverQuest would give away to EverQuest 2 and be like, oh, and sometimes a game would come out and then people would revert back to the old game, but like people were moving around. But I don't think so. I'm a little sympathetic to them being like, dude, the game's 21 years old. Like, what do you want us to do?
I mean, they just keep making expansions. I want you to make a new game. That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, that's the move. The crazier move, and I wonder if people would dig this. I mean, because this would be a huge use of this would again be hundreds of millions of dollars to do that. Just this is why not remake all of the old stuff and then make a new platform that's way more modern that you can kind of add things onto in a more modern way, or release a platform with new stuff and then slowly incorporate the old stuff and be like, all right, we've now remade and we're re-releasing this series of maps or this whatever quests or whatever expansions, and then slowly get everything into this whole, corpus of detail and information about World of Warcraft that can be played over many, many years and is made for future proofed because it has all the old stuff. It's going to have new stuff. Maybe it has a user generated content component or something. I don't know. It's just, they have to spend the money to do it. It's going to be really expensive. Then the anticipation is going to be high and the expectations are going to be high.
Yeah, so, of course.
One thing I want to say before we move off of Xbox, though, I have to say this is I was surprised by Turn 10. I just didn't know that Turn 10 is, I think, I don't know, like World's Edge, I know comes from a different team and stuff, but it's one of their oldest teams. And they founded that team themselves. That was one of the rare Xbox teams where they actually grew it and it became successful. Yeah. Right. And I didn't know. I was on an Xbox 2 podcast and they were saying like just from an outsider, I was like, I always thought Forza was like pretty big. And it turns out that it's not really been very big for a while. Like it's Forza Horizon that's kind of taken, and Forza Horizon is incredibly popular.
Massive, yeah.
And that Turn 10 has kind of been left behind and their original kind of game is not really relevant anymore. And I didn't know that. So that was weird to me. I said that because I said that and they were like, oh, it's not that weird at all if you really kind of follow it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not. So, so yeah, it's sad. You don't want to see that kind of stuff happen, especially with old teams,
Because, it was like one of the 3 pillars of Xbox, the Halo Forza Gears thing. So it is weird to see it go away in some way, at least the mainline thing. With Horizon, I guess, is just going to replace it, which is kind of sad. I know people like Forza, but I don't know. There's other alternatives out there now for sim racing games besides GT set or Gran Turismo and stuff. So we'll see.
And who knows if Gran Turismo comes to Xbox? I mean,
yeah, we're gonna get into that stuff. Yeah. I'm curious about this. Let's hop right into that. More multiplayer games possibly from PlayStation. So there was like a job listing that went out for PlayStation. I'm just gonna read it right here. This is an overview. Reporting to the Vice President of Commercial Management, a Senior Director of Multi-Platform and Account Management. You will play a critical leadership role in shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studio software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, including Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. This role is accountable for optimizing title profitability, ensuring cross-functional alignment, and leading to high-performing team focused on multi-platform expansion, mid-range commercial planning, and platform partner management. So this is something Sony's been dipping their toes in slightly. We saw it with like Lego Horizon coming to Switch. We've of course seen them putting stuff on PC. Helldivers now coming to Xbox. Do you think, Colin, they're going to accelerate this of putting more stuff on multi-platform, or is it going to be very select cases, kind of like it is now? Very small amount.
I think they'll be more aggressive with multi-platform, but I also think people are reading into this too much. And it's been interesting and funny watching everyone like melt down or be excited about it or whatever. And I'm like, it's kind of what they're already doing. They have games on all of these platforms. Actually, mobile is the only place where they really don't have a relevant game. And they've been chasing a relevant mobile game for years. I mean, they've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in that pursuit at this point. Even buying a studio and then shutting it down all and like getting people from Apple and all sorts of things. It just blew up in their faces. I don't know really what happened, but so I've said this on Sacred for a long time that I think people need to get used to the fact that like some of these games will make sense going elsewhere, and that it really, I'm much more aggressive than your average hardcore PlayStation fan in thinking that it's good for them to lean into doing this, especially on PC, but also on Switch. The Xbox stuff I find a little more confusing, which is why the Helldivers thing really surprised me because, and like I said on one of the appearances I made, I'm like, I would have literally put $5,000 down as a bet that Helldivers would never come to Xbox. And the reason is because I think that Sony is sending mixed messages or mixed signals, although the more you analyze them, the more they kind of make sense if you try to understand what they're doing. We were just talking about Everybody's Golf, Hot Shots. This is a Sony property, right? They're explicitly not publishing it on Xbox. Like, just like Freedom Wars before it, and Patapon, which just came out. These are Sony properties published through a third party, Bandai Namco in this case, that come to everything but Xbox. That's an explicit thing. That's not a choice where it's like, oh, we don't really have the resources or whatever. It's like, no, you're not getting them. But then they put Helldivers on Xbox. And to me, there are two things. It's like, the first is that could be a move, and I think is a move to bolster the player base of a game that requires
It's a live service game.
Right. And I don't really, I mean, like, I don't give a shit one way or the other. In fact, when we first talked about the rumors last year, and I discounted them, and I don't believe that those rumors were true, by the way. Like, in other words, the outcome happened, but I don't think those rumors were true based on what people were saying. People saying like Arrowhead was talking to Microsoft and stuff. And I'm like, Arrowhead would have no place in this conversation. Or at least wouldn't be leading the charge. They don't own the IP. They didn't fund the game. It's like, well, they're going to make decisions on where the game goes. I don't think that that's true. But the game ultimately did come over, and it's like, yeah, maybe. And this is what I was saying on the show is like, this indicates that if I were Sony, I would just be more aggressive with this stuff, where games like Fair Games should just come to Xbox immediately. If you're going to do it, just do it. And obviously we already know that Marathon was announced for Xbox or whatever. And this is probably the smartest move, because now you have to ask yourself, like, when you're wargaming this, would you have gotten more out of Helldivers 2 even if you just released it on Xbox immediately? And if you kind of think that that's the case, and obviously it was anathema to your whole market approach at that time, so you would have never considered it. But now that you do, would you just want to get it over with? Or do you want that bump later on to like draw more people into the game? I don't know. I think you would want them earlier. So I just think that like maybe the messages aren't mixed. Maybe they're just saying like there are some games that really make sense here, and like it's hard for me. It's simply hard for me to believe that Sony would be like, we don't want Xbox to have Freedom Wars, but we'll give them The Last of Us.
Right.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't you just give them Freedom Wars? If like, end The Last of Us. In other words, to get to The Last of Us, you have to get to Freedom Wars first. And if you're just going to, it's like, what are we doing? So like that's why I just feel like people are overreacting in some way, because and it's like, the other important thing with the Xbox component is they just need to wait. And the games will be available on Steam. I think they're going to be way more aggressive there, and they should. And then if you're on Xbox, you just buy it on Steam.
Yeah.
So I just, Helldivers might be one of those things where it's like, we can't wait. And do you want to learn? Maybe this does really well. Final Fantasy 16 indicates Final Fantasy 16 did I would argue Final Fantasy 16 did bad on Xbox.
Reese told me it sold, their estimates less than 100,000.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not worth it. I know that's hard for people to like imagine that, but like, it's not really worth porting a game for 100,000 units on a console that's 35 million or whatever install base. It's like, that's bad. And Helldivers, I think, will do better than that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But I wonder, like, I just wonder. But I think it's good for them to learn and be open to figuring out how things might work. And also, MLB The Show has been on Xbox for years now, and so they have a lot of experience with the console, and I think they probably see positive things happening with that game now that it's not on Game Pass. Especially, like, are people buying it, and all the rest. So I could be totally wrong, but I would just be surprised to see. Based on, again, I because someone would have to argue to me, like, what is the logic of not giving them everybody's golf?
Right.
You want to make sure that Xbox will never ever run Patapon. Patapon will never be on Xbox.
Yeah.
But here's God of War. Like that just doesn't sync up to me. So
I agree with you. The only thing I could maybe see is right now is Spider-Man, just because of the licensing fees. But it's such a huge seller for them. I wonder if they're like extra protective of it. I don't know.
Spider-Man 2 is the 20th best-selling game of the year in the United States.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how it just has this latent low level of sales trajectory.
It sells, man. Like, if someone gets a PlayStation, it's easy to recommend Spider-Man games.
And it's on PC as well, so that it's selling there too. One important thing to note here is that this, I haven't looked deeply into this. I will do it before Sacred, but it's like, is this a replacement? Does this role already exist?
Right.
And is someone leaving? Or is it a new thing? Because I think that's somewhat relevant. If it's a new thing, then I think you could say, well, Freedom Wars and all the Bandai Namco kind of collaborations were made at a different era. Now we want to do things differently. And maybe if we could go back and do those other releases again, maybe Freedom Wars would have been on Xbox. And so you have to kind of account for and allow for the possibility that they could be approaching things more aggressively.
Yeah.
I do believe that they'll play nicer with Nintendo. And I do think that that's a low risk thing for them to do, high reward thing for them to do, especially because Switch 2 simply won't run the newer games. And by the time you get to PS6, it's not even going to be a conversation at all. And so you have nothing to lose by kind of releasing older things there. And I think that they should be more aggressive in doing that as well. I don't think Lego Horizon was like the right game for that. I think that game seemingly bombed. And I would be more interested to see how like the Uncharted trilogy did on Switch too,
Switch,
and Switch won. So it would be fun and interesting to see that. And I don't mind that. And I think mobile, they want to be, I want them to have a mobile game too. Now they technically will. That Destiny game is coming out next month, I think. But that's a vital space to be. I mean, it's foolish to think that PlayStation shouldn't pursue either cross-platform or mobile-only fare. But ideally, games that are playable across all platforms for these games as a service. So I don't know if that makes any sense. But I could be wrong, and everything comes over and they announce God of War and Horizon and all these things. But I'm like, I just don't see the logic in that based on the choices they've made so far. And I think that they are being explicit in what they expect. I think the thing to read here is, focus on multi-platform expansion. So there's just no doubt that based on this verbiage that they're gonna try to spread the field. But they're talking about mid-range commercial planning. And I was reading about like, what does that really mean if you're like an economics person or whatever, like, or, a business person, like I'm a business person, I guess, but like a real business person. What does that mean? Like, and mid-range commercial planning is apparently, quote, bridging the gap between short-term actions and long-term vision. So it's basically saying like, we have this idea and we need to execute choices in the short term to get to that goal. And that's going to be what's up to you. And it seems like that's fairly obvious that that's going to be quote unquote multi-platform expansion. So, but I just think the Xbox stuff specifically, I just think they should be smarter than to think that let me say this and put this out there too. The idea that it's like they want to make money. It's easy money. It's like, it's not that simple. If you think that that's the whole equation, that it's basically arithmetic, you're crazy. Of course, that's not like, if that was the case, then I'd be playing Donkey Kong Bonanza on my PS5. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that's not the only consideration. In fact, chasing the dollar might be the one of the least important considerations in the long term if you're trying to protect your ecosystem. And so doing things like releasing Spider-Man or God of War or Horizon or whatever, and I agree with you, and I said this on Sacred, that Spider-Man is the most likely of the AAA games to go over just because of what you said. It's not really a Sony game,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I mean, it's an IP that they have a lot of control over, but it's not theirs. And so maybe they would be comfortable with that. And like you said, the licensing makes these kinds of games expensive to make and fund. But to me, I look at the entire situation and I'm like, I don't really understand why you would lean into this notion that you need to kind of feed your competitor when your competitor is kind of swooning. And they're making known their kind of plans to put Steam on this next machine, and you can kind of just cut them out. Mm-hmm. And get that so you get their player base and they don't get anything from you. Yeah. And I just don't understand how that wouldn't be a relevant part of the strategy. So it's not, and obviously you don't want to chase away people from your own ecosystem. So it's not dollars in, dollars out. That's a foolish way of looking at it. Because if that was the only consideration or the most important consideration, we'd be playing everything everywhere. I mean, of course, it's like just nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course Sony would make hundreds of millions of dollars putting The Last of Us on Xbox.
Yeah.
But what would the cost be? Because everyone identifies The Last of Us with you.
Yeah. Maybe they just think the console war's over.
Maybe.
They won. I don't know. But like you're saying, they know in like a year or two when the Xbox thing comes out with Steam, most players will probably buy stuff on Steam.
I think that PC expansion is obvious.
Yeah.
I think that Nintendo
100%.
expansion is obvious. I think that when you see things like Xbox in this listing, you have to understand that they already have multiple games on Xbox. And you have to manage those relationships and stuff too. So I did see, who was it? Like Shinobi or one of those like well-known insiders, right? Saying like people are really overreacting to this job listing. And that was my instinct when I saw it first too. And I would defer to him, and I would definitely defer to my own feel on the brand over what other people are inferring. But we'll see. Okay. I'm very eager to see how Helldivers does.
Yeah, be interesting. All right, let's go to the next thing. Switch 2. It's finally out, Colin. Fastest selling console apparently in the United States. It's doing well. Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out recently. Amazing game. Super fun. What are your thoughts on the Switch 2? You've seen Micah play it probably quite a bit, but you haven't spent yourself much time with it, right?
No, I don't think I've played it at all directly. I've watched her play Mario Kart extensively, which is really cute, endearing game. And then Donkey Kong, I don't think I've really seen at all because I think she's been playing handheld, or maybe I've seen it a little bit. I don't really recall. Right. It's mega popular. It's doing awesome. I think Nintendo has a very hardcore, very, revitalized, eager to spend fan base that I think has also kind of been withering for a while because the big releases haven't been hitting the platform as much as they have been other platforms. So they've been eager. They've been stocked up and ready to go. And I think it's a great sign for dedicated handhelds, or dedicated hardware, I should say. This idea that console gaming or traditional gaming is dying, I just think has been a myth. Do I think it's flat? Probably cumulatively it is, but it's probably been that way for many years, if not decades. Mm-hmm. And people wash in and wash out, and I don't know. So I'm happy for its success. I want to see how it stacks up as the games continue to come out, how it plays with third parties, and ultimately what the limit of bringing games over to it will be, because it's like a mid-generation or really late generation refresh. It's going to be left behind technologically very shortly. And it already is not up to snuff with the new consoles, but
it can run some current gen games, I suppose, like Borderlands is coming to it, for instance.
Right. So it's cool. I mean, like, it works for them, and I'll be very interested to see if they can kind of grow their presence, because I think one of the things that people don't think about with Nintendo too often is like they actually are the smallest of the three major game makers in terms of, generating income or whatever. They make a lot of profit and they have their very hardcore fan base, but I feel like there's so much room for them to actually grow. If you think about how much PlayStation made, what was it, like 31 billion or something? And that was like an all-time record. It's like, why can't Nintendo do that? I mean, I think it's funny because a major thing is that a lot of people don't play third-party games on those machines. And that's where a lot of the money comes from. You can only make so many games. You have to rely on others. So that's what's always kind of holding them back. But yeah, I'm happy for them. Micah seems to really like it.
Yeah,
the audience seems to like it.
It is interesting because Nintendo first party like sells the best out of any first party, pretty much. Like Animal Crossing numbers and all this stuff, Zelda, Mario.
Yeah, they're
Kart,
incredible
insane.
numbers. Yeah, 20, 30, 40 million copies. It's incredible. Like, it's crazy numbers.
And you're right. Like, as someone like me who, I mean, I host our Nintendo podcast, I barely play third party stuff on Switch or non-exclusive on there because because I don't play handheld really. I think if I played handheld more, it'd be much more appealing to me, but it's usually like the weakest version of a game. So I rarely ever buy third party stuff on there. Like even Final Fantasy Tactics, like I'm buying that on PlayStation, dude.
Right, of course.
I'm not there. But it is interesting, like, what would it take, I guess, or if it even happened for Nintendo to put their game on something else, like PC or something? Would the company have to be like in danger of shutting down? Or do you think they'll ever get to the point where like, well, all these other guys are doing it, why don't we do it?
Yeah, I think it would be total. I just couldn't imagine Nintendo doing that. Because I think that would really hurt. I think it would really hurt them actually, because, and again, this is not about money made. It's about like protecting your ecosystem so you can make money in the long term. They would be in, I think, significant danger of undercutting themselves, because if you could just get better versions of basically games that are on Switch and you don't really play anything else on Switch other than the exclusives, why would you ever even buy one or mess around with one? Monthly active users go down, revenue churn decreases. I don't like it. I don't like it for them. I would be really, what's funny though, Brad, and you were in the industry at this time, is like, I was starting to people would always talk about it, even in the GameCube era, and 64 not so much, but GameCube, where it's like, well, games like Resident Evil, like some of the Capcom 5 and stuff coming over and to PS2 and them just getting decimated like 6-1 by PlayStation 2, literally.
Yeah.
And I remember the Wii U and 3DS era was when I was like I started to look at it and I was like, it was
scary.
Are they going to die? Like, as a hardware manufacturer, are we actually realistically going to get these games? And they roared back, obviously, with Switch. And I just think that that's an unlikely future for them, because I think that they have nothing without those IP and those games drawing people to their console where they get all the money. And I'd be shocked if they release some of the, some of their biggest games elsewhere, even on PC.
Yeah. What if they did like their own storefront only, no Steam or anything like that, and it's all old games?
That would be
nothing
cool.
From the last 10 years.
That would be cool. I wonder, I wonder what I think you want to have people on your proprietary machine.
I think so. Yeah. I think for them, exclusives are more important than anybody. Like you're saying,
they're vital. It's why we ended up dying kind of on the vine, and we sold so well, but people really, you had to have been there. Like it kind of like 3 or 4 years in, it was over.
Yeah, it was.
So, which is one of the reasons, which is not one of the reasons, but one of the ways that why it was so easy to peel off and just be like, I don't really give a shit about this anymore. Because like they were, by 2010, 2011, it was like, this thing's fucking.
Yeah, what was the last Wii game you played? Was it Mario Galaxy 2?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because I didn't play Skyward Sword.
Okay.
So yeah, Galaxy 2, and that would have been 2010, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably, and by that point I was off of it anyway, but I love Galaxy. So, and Galaxy 2 is excellent. Excellent.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see how the Switch does. Right now, it's doing great, but we'll see. All right. We can talk about this a little shorter. GTA 6 delay. Biggest game, obviously. Got a huge delay, a year, pretty much like that. People thought the world was exploding for them. I mean, I feel like nothing can hurt this game. It's invulnerable. more game than anything like that. But it's gonna be like the biggest game when this game comes out. It's gonna be crazy. I cannot wait to see the numbers for this game.
I hope they are able to hit that date, May 26th.
Me too.
And putting a date, like a specific date on something so far out, indicates to me that is the idea. But they do delay things at Rockstar.
Yeah.
It's one of those very specific examples where for any 999 out of 1,000 games, it'll be like shit or get off the pot already. Like, this is enough. Like, get the game onto the market. Like, you've been fucking dealing with this game for a decade. Like, just get it. But for them, it's as you said, like the commercial success is guaranteed. And the burn rate on the studios is probably substantial. I mean, tens of millions a month. I mean, if you have thousands of people working on the game, it's insane levels of money that you're spending. But I think that they realize like they can nail this. Their financial guidance internally is probably like, we're going to have so much money, dude. Like, it really doesn't matter, and we're going to get it right. And the more right we get it, the better off we're going to be long term. If we set up, we don't want to have a game we have to revive. We don't want to have a game that we need to draw people back to. Like, let's just get it right. And what's another year at this point? And that's kind of true. And it's not even a year by the time they delayed it. And it's not a year now because May is not a year away. So I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I'm much more interested at this point in the short to midterm, like what they're going to do with 4, because there are rumors that they'll release 4 at some point. And I really would like to get through the rest of the Grand Theft Autos in anticipation for 6, because I beat GTA 3 last year, 2 years ago, but I haven't played Vice City, San Andreas 4 in many years, and I haven't never beaten 5. So So yeah,
okay,
we'll see. So I think we'll see if they hit that date. As I understand it from reading stuff, I don't have any connection. Oh, I do have connections to Rockstar, but I don't talk to them about this stuff. It's like a lot of it is to like avoid crunch and like just get things done at a normal pace and stuff, and like to treat everyone right, because obviously they're notoriously crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, and it's like you said, tens of millions of copies easily. I'll be very, very I mean, it's going to be a huge boon for the consoles, including Xbox, but I think definitely PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah, PlayStation 5 for
PlayStation 5 Pro. Very eager to see who has the marketing deal, if anyone.
I think Sony, that was the rumor that PlayStation does.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. It's funny because Grand Theft Auto was with PlayStation for the PS2 era. Then, 360 was very much GTA 4 and 360 were hand in hand. I mean, it took a year or more for us to even get the DLC on PlayStation, I remember, which was annoying. I played it on Xbox. And then back to PlayStation with 5. And I think that it would be insane to do anything with Xbox, in my opinion. I think the bigger question is, would you just do anything with anyone? Like, just be like, yeah, we don't need you. But I think Sony could defray marketing costs and sell this new PSSR update.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That might help. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. So
yeah.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. Very exciting times. All right. Claire Obscure Exhibitions 33 success. This kind of was like all over the place, this game. Obviously the game sold well, over 3.3 million copies. I'm sure it's up. I don't know how much more from that for now, but a big thing with this game was people were championing the kind of like the smaller dev size of the team and stuff like that. And the turn-based, return to turn-based combat started this whole conversation about Final Fantasy and stuff like that. They should go back to turn-based and all this. What do you think about Claire Obscure? Obviously, we did a spoiler cast on it and we talked about it. We all enjoyed the game. But what do you think about, like, from an impact standpoint, I guess, for the industry?
It's cool. I feel like I'm happy that people are into it. I really liked it. I think it's an excellent game and highly recommend it. It's not my game of the year. I think that Stranding 2 would be that, but with many more games to come. But I really liked it. Thought it was unique. Thought it was thoughtful, well designed, fun, deep. But I am surprised by the reaction that people had to it. And I think that they probably are too. I think that because I don't think they would have put their game on Game Pass if they knew it was going to be reacted to like this, first of all. And that's guaranteed money, but you're kind of undercutting yourself and giving people a way out. So I don't think they would have done that. And I don't think a game like this usually would hit think it's situational. I think people are hungry for different sorts of things. But I think a lot of and I don't mean to be like an old man here, but I will be, is like a lot of the conversation I see around the game seems to be divorced from the reality of like turn-based role-playing games, and that people kind of abandon them. And it's cool that people brought them back, but it's not surprising that an entire industry thought, outside of, the niches of Falcom and whatever random old Final Fantasy games and Square Enix shit. It's like, why would anyone think that anyone wanted a turn-based game? Everyone made fun of turn-based combat and menu-based combat for years, and you'd have to go to places like Dragon Quest to get it. So it's cool that someone just endeavored to do it more in the mainstream. I think making the game $50 was a cool move. I wonder, based just on how much people love the game and how good it is, it didn't feel like a $50 game to me. Like, I think that could have been a $60 or even $70 game. I wonder how much more money they could have made, and how many people might have been turned off from buying it at a higher price. And I think that I said this at the time, like I'm heartened by a French team, and it could be any European team or an American team that's relatively small with a kind of small size budget and publisher alongside them, being able to execute on a game like this. It's not truly AAA, but it's not AA. It's something else, maybe low end AAA or something. Yeah, aesthetically and all the rest. You can only do so much with a team that size. But and they outsourced a lot too. But yeah, I'm happy for them. I think it's awesome. I think the conversation around the game is a little weird. I can't even put my finger on it. I just wonder where everyone was, because there are, like, I don't know.
Well, I've called them the new Nier fans, in the sense that they're the most annoying fan base. I love the games too. Like, I love Nier. I love those games, but I remember when those games came out, how annoying people are about them. And I know that's not everybody, but I'm just saying, vocal minority for sure. But that's what they remind me of now.
And I feel like that about Souls people.
Yeah.
No offense.
Offense taken, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Final thing here. $80 games. Mario Kart World, first $80 game. Standard price. Of course, there's been special editions and stuff like that have cost more and whatever, deluxe editions. But this is the first standard edition $80 game we got. Then Xbox said they were going to start doing this. And with the Outer Worlds 2 was going to be the first one, but they reverted recently, last week, back to $70. What do you think about all this? Like, many have said, and I agree, that the Outer Worlds 2 is not the game to charge $80, dude. You're not that kind of game. You don't have that cachet.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. You're not that guy, Outer Worlds 2. I'm going to play you, but you're not that guy. I don't know about anything Xbox has right now off the top of my head where I'm like, you're that guy. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't personally mind the move to $80 games, as long as the games justify a price point, which I think is kind of a subjective thing. People just have to. The sad reality is, I've said ad nauseum over the last few years, is the increase from $60 to $70 was totally consumed by inflation. It's as if nothing happened, and that's because we lived in a unique 1970s-esque moment of a really horrible governmental policy and monetary policy that just fucked the dollar and all currencies around the world. I mean, most currencies in the world are in way worse shape than the US dollar. But so it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that your own income went up. It probably didn't. It doesn't mean that things in your life are cheaper to buy. They're not. Or that you're living better than you used to. You're probably not, these are all sad realities, but it doesn't inoculate gaming from being victimized by those same forces. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Like so now it's up to for the market to dictate the terms on whether these price points are reasonable or not. And as we saw, like with Expedition 33, they spread the field, I think, by making the game a little cheaper. That's possible with any game, but if you don't achieve a certain level of volume, you're just undercutting yourself even more. And I really believe that, like, people that are willing to spend $50, $60, or $70, like that window, you're slicing and dicing in such a way that you might as well just kind of err towards the higher price at this point. So it's I've said it before, no one wants to hear it, right? Like, so I get it. It's like, you don't want to hear it. It's annoying, but it's just real. It's what's real, is that everything's more expensive now. And we're in a generation where the consoles are getting more expensive.
Yeah.
That should show everyone how fucked the economy is and how fucked the monetary system is right now. That's unheard of. At this point, and I don't want to put too fine of a point on it, but on this point in the GameCube era, you could buy them for like $50. You know?
I wish I bought a couple extra just to have.
And you're not getting a PS5 for less than what, 400?
Mm-hmm.
For the lowest end, you know, the slim model. So I get why everyone's upset. I don't know why they think this would be immune. And if they think that this should be immune, then I just ask them to name one other thing that's been immune to it. Anything else? What's gotten cheaper? There are two things that I can think of. TVs have stayed like the same and are getting like insanely, like have just been so cheap. It's crazy. And weed has gotten cheaper. Those are the two things that I can think of, like off the top of my head.
Certainly not food.
No. So that's what I'm saying is like, people don't want to hear it because, and I get why. It's like, dude, I still got to eat. I got to feed my kids. I got to like put gas in my car. And it's like, yeah, I totally get it. But in that world also exists the video game industry. It's not this thing that just exists outside of that reality. Their people are buying food and putting gas in their car in the same economy you are.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think people put this connection together. I don't understand it. So now Mario Kart World, I think, seemed uninjured by being $80. Now I know it came as a bundle. I don't know exactly how Circana counted it because it was the third best selling game of the month.
It didn't count digital sales.
It didn't count digital sales, right? Nintendo games don't count. So would probably be the best selling game, presumably.
If it did, probably.
Right. Because it was, what was it? It was Death Stranding 2 and something else was above it. I don't remember what it was. Oh, my dad's calling me. I'll have to call him back.
I don't know. Look it up.
Yeah, look it up real quick. I don't remember like what was the other game. It was a new multiplat game. I think.
Let me see. I'm trying to find it here. Elden Ring.
Oh, right, Night Rain. Right, and that's what we were saying was that's a $40 game. The charts are based on dollar sales, not copies sold. So that's like a runaway success. The reason I was bringing up, I don't know exactly how they counted things. The digital sale thing is obviously vital, but I'm also not sure if they're incorporating the $50 that it would cost as a bundled game. This is why I'm always so confused by the Horizon stuff where everyone's like, oh, there's a bundle and stuff. And I'm like, I don't think they count that because I don't think there's really a way to do so.
I don't know.
So I just say at number 3, not counting digital sales, especially, that's a big success.
Yeah.
So I don't think it really matters. Like there's a lot of complaining online. Certainly you're going to peel people off that simply won't or can't pay for something like that. But I think, and you saw that with the price of the Switch 2 itself, and that the Switch 2 is the best selling console ever in the United States in its first month. It's like, I don't think these monetary forces are as powerful maybe as a lot of people think. It's easy to complain about, but harder to put your money where your mouth is. The thing with the Outer Worlds 2, I didn't blame them for doing this. I thought the play was go to Game Pass. Go to Game Pass and you'll get the game for $20 or 18 or whatever, 16, whatever the fuck it is for a month. And so I was like, yeah, charge fucking $80 for your games. Like, why wouldn't you do that? But like you said, they're not that guy, but I also imagine that the pre-sales on PlayStation and PC were bad. And
100% they were bad. PC gamers are way more like picky about price, way more than console players. So I think they made it. I bet the Steam sales were really bad for that game. Yeah,
I think that you had to make adjustments. Will it matter or not? I don't know. I think they had a really nice marketing campaign around it. I thought it was really clever and cute the way they did it. But you're right in that I don't know what, like maybe a game like Fable or E-Day or something would be that game. But I just thought that they were going to start now. What's weird is this is a tough one for them because they got.
Yeah.
So now people know that they can just like, so here's my thing now is if they do go up to the $80 price point, people should do two things. Just complain and not pre-order it.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to buy it, even if they stick at the $80 price point, you'll buy it. Just like make them wait until the day it comes out, and you'll make them bend. So this is a tough one because I think they made a huge error if they weren't going to just stick with it. And I think it's such a big thing that I think they should have just stuck with it. and if anything, just went back to $70 for the next game and just never said anything. But they kind of messaged this whole, like, you'd be crazy to let them raise the price of their games now because you can just twist their arms, and they'll know eventually they're going to have to jump on a grenade and not raise. And when they raise the price, they're going to have to stick with it.
I mean, it should have been Call of Duty.
Right,
Call of Duty is like the one you can probably get away with.
I wonder how people would. I think so too. I wonder how people would vibe with that. I think it would draw people towards Game Pass. I think that's not necessarily good for them though.
Maybe not.
I mean, if you're going to play, they get $80 from you straight up because they own the publisher. You buy it on Xbox, let's say, or you do 4 months of Game Pass, but then you peel off after 2 months and they get half the amount of money. I mean, this is what those guys in those leaked emails were saying to each other, internal emails were like, what if this all blows up in our face? Kind of thing. And tough. They're in a tough position, but again, I don't blame them for being in this position. They made moves that were, I think, salient and logical. I just think it didn't work out. And they didn't execute properly. Yeah. And the Activision thing was totally unnecessary. If they didn't do that, if they didn't do that and took a fourth of the money or a fifth of the money and bought a couple of things, they'd probably be in a totally different position. That was totally insane. And what was more insane about it than anything, Brad, was like, it took so long that they had time to look at it and be like, nah, we don't want to do this,
Yeah, and they had a lot of time.
And they just, because it started looking worse and worse the longer it went, but they just went through with it. Dumb.
Yeah. They wanted it. All right, let's see. I got some stories from the audience here. Raisin wrote in, "Good day, Summoners. Seeing as y'all be talking about some of the biggest gaming news stories of the year so far, I'd be remiss if I didn't write in about the continued story of Forza Horizon 5's success on PlayStation. The best-selling game of 2025 on PlayStation is an Xbox port. The magnitude of the story cannot be diminished. We will continue to see stories like this with the upcoming release of Gears of War Reload, or will we see upcoming stories like this with upcoming release like Gears of War Reloaded and the inevitable release of Halo on PlayStation? As someone who has a combined 800 hours into Forza Horizon 5 on Series S/X and PS5, I'm thrilled with the success Playground Games has found. However, I am as equally disappointed in the layoffs at Turn 10 Studios. Nevertheless, the tremendous success of Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation is easily one of the biggest gaming news stories of 2025. Until then, Summoners, I'll listen to Hulk Hogan's sex tape and scream racial epitaphs. Wow.
R.I.P. Hulkster.
Yeah, he's gone. The Hulkster. But yeah, we talked about this. Horizon 5, humongous success. Crazy. They got to be licking their lips thinking about what else they could port there. Yeah,
I wonder. I mean, obviously Halo. Gears will do well. Halo's the big one. And then there's some more contemporary stuff like Starfield will probably do pretty well.
Yeah, I think Bethesda stuff usually does decent on there.
And I there are games that I'm interested in, like Clockwork Revolution. I imagine. I mean, I just know that all these games are coming to PlayStation at some point. So it's like that.
At some point, yeah.
For all these games that they released that it looked like just fodder, like that game South of Midnight. I'm like, I don't know about that.
I played through it. Yeah,
Jaffe was saying it was like the most disjointed thing ever. When he was playing it, but so they released a lot of shit like that, or things that just kind of come and go, like Avowed. But every once in a while, they're really, Starfield. I just don't think I can do it. Like I should play that game because people say like, oh, you really like it, but I'm like, I just don't think I could do it. I just don't.
Yeah, I played 10 hours when it came out, and that was it. I was like, all right. I'm done.
But that Clockwork Revolution game looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And of course I have high expectations for Fable and high hopes. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, we'll see. Whenever it comes out, they're taking their time.
Yeah, they sure are. All right, this is from T-Dot's Finest 82. Hey guys, the story of the year has to be Xbox's slow capitulation into the total irrelevancy in the gaming space. I think we're a lot closer to seeing Microsoft pulling the plug on Xbox than we are them salvaging some sort of foothold in the gaming space. They pulled the plug on their handheld. They're going to pull the plug on the next gen console, And in best case scenario, they'll release an Xbox PC that maybe plays 10 to 20% of your console library. The layoffs at Xbox were obviously the big story of the year so far for the brand, but Xbox as a whole has been floundering hard since they stated their intent to buy ABK. All of it is a shame because because Game Pass has finally hit its stride and ultimately means nothing for the Xbox console player. The 30 to 40 million strong who Microsoft has deemed unimportant, I feel the worst for those people. You know what, dude, if I was an Xbox gamer only, I'd feel furious. Like the fact that you have to have Game Pass Ultimate to get the games. And on PC, it's just way cheaper. You're making your own console people feel like second class citizens.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they're going to cancel the next gen console, but I don't think so either. But I think that that's obviously happening. The end of the road, and I think that it will be some sort of modular PC style thing probably, and I don't mean like hardware modular probably because that would be crazy, but more like in terms of operating system and storefront access and all the rest. And I think that this is actually a very pro-consumer thing in some way. They have cultivated a group of tens of millions of people that in the low tens of millions that are Xbox players that spend money and are Game Pass subscribers, whatever. And you want to not only retain them, but let them down easily, softly, let's say. And I think giving people access to different storefronts and allowing this new machine to kind of subsume maybe even in an emulation format, like your old library. And I think this is a way for them to kind of exit without really fucking over people by saying like, oh, where your games are gone and the backwards compatibility is gone and all these things. Like, I just don't think they're going to do that. And so, because I think that would be such a horrible look. It's not like when Sega, canceled Dreamcast in 2001 and was like, all right, we're out. You didn't really rely on them for access. The games were physical. You wouldn't have access to SegaNet after a while or whatever, but like everything was playable, generally speaking. And a lot of games were running for many years, like Phantasy Star Online 2 and other stuff. So it's just not so easy these days to walk away without really screwing people over. And I don't think it puts them at any legal peril or anything like that, because I'm sure it's all in the EULA and everything, but it's just like, you just don't want to do that to people. So I think, and I think that they're going to want to convert people into some sort of Windows consumer, I guess, or some sort of just Windows Microsoft gaming customer. Game Pass obviously is a highly relevant subscription model. It's flat. Obviously it's been flat, but it exists. Tens of millions of people are on it. So there's still money to be made. And they're now a huge publisher. So it's going to be very different for them moving forward. Yeah. But I think that I just think Game Pass kind of flatlining or growing very, very slowly is the killer ultimately. And if Call of Duty didn't change that, nothing's going to change it. Yeah.
All right. It's from Macabre. My submission for the biggest gaming news this year happened in February. It was the unforeseen shake of LSM's RSS feeds that disrupted the lives of thousands of men, women, and children.
Yeah, that was great.
Another interesting story is the state of WB with its declining revenue and the announced closure of Monolith and the Wonder Woman game. I'll be curious to see where they go from here and if they can repair their reputation after what happened with Self-Unalive Squad.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, they've kind of been in and out in terms of like, are they available to purchase, or, WB Games specifically, are they not? Obviously there's all of these merger talks and stuff going on with their parent companies, and pieces are getting shifted around. But I think that anyone with wisdom would say, like, you don't want to part with these assets. These are high money making assets that we aren't using properly, and we aren't deploying their potential properly. And I think they probably saw this in two different ways. I think they saw it with the huge success of Hogwarts Legacy and how those things, like, they were clearly not very serious about Hogwarts Legacy. No offense to Avalanche, but they are now a very well-respected studio, and they're going to be around for a long time with all the money they've made with Hogwarts Legacy. But they were not like a AAA tier team that you would have expected to deliver something so popular, and made probably fairly lean compared to the way other teams would have spent money. And I think that that's like a wake up call to people at WP. It's like, dude, like you have access to these amazing IP. You just need to do something with them. And Hogwarts Legacy is from an IP that frankly isn't, or let's say wasn't in 22, 23. Like it was waning in relevance. If anything, it's that series that the HBO revival has to thank, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they see that there's like this, so you don't want to part with those assets. And you don't want to let other people make DC games. If you own DC, you don't want to but like you got to be smart and intentional. So I am curious where they go from here as well. I think canceling the Wonder Woman game, sadly, is probably smart, especially if it wasn't coming together. But we'll see. We'll see. They have really good things happening, and they have some really bad things happening as well. I mean, what happened with Suicide Squad and Rocksteady? It's like, what a waste, man. And that's just bad. Yeah. That's just horrible management and chasing trends instead of doing what you do really well. And a lot of people, including Sony, have fallen victim to this. So it's not exclusive to them.
Yeah, man. I forgot, when was that Wonder Woman game announced? I forgot. Maybe it was like 2020, 2021, something like that. Never saw anything from it. Nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I never got my third Shadow of Mordor game after they left the cliffhanger on 2.
Well, it's another thing. It's like, why, when that's so popular, why would you not just pursue more of that? Or I don't know. It's just
grass is always greener.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. It's very over ambitious and unnecessary.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to some games that we're playing finally now. I will just go first. Please. Because this is the only thing I've been playing, which is Wuchang Fallen Feathers. This is a total Colin game, right up his alley. He loves those Chinese, Japanese.
It's like
fantasy.
It's just
logical games.
The same.
There's a lot, yeah. There's a lot of that coming out of China for sure, especially because this is a Chinese dev. What are they called? Lenzi is the developer. Interesting though, right away, Colin. 24,000 reviews on Steam.
Yeah, mostly
negative.
Really?
Right now. Yes.
I didn't know that.
And a lot of it is because of performance issues. I'm not sure about PS5. I have no idea how the PS5 port is. I've been playing on Steam right now.
Okay.
Because this is a $50 game, but I picked it up for $35 on PC. So I've been playing it on there.
Nice.
And it is a Souls-like game. It's good. I'll just say overall, it's a good game. It's nothing special though so far. I've only played like maybe 8 hours of the game or so, I'd say. So I think I have quite a ways to go still. But so far, it's good. If you like the genre, I think you're going to have a good time and have fun. But if you're not into the genre, or if you're looking to get in the genre, this might not be the game for you, I would say right now.
Mm-hmm.
And from a performance standpoint, it's been okay for me. It's with PC stuff, it's different for people, whatever specs they're using and all that kind of stuff can vary for people. It has not been ideal where I've been like, this is a great PC port or anything like that. I think this is another Unreal Engine game, and Unreal Engine has big problems on PC a lot of times, especially Unreal Engine 5 with like a lot of stutter and stuff like that. You might remember like Jedi Survivor on PC when it came out was very bad PC port. So this kind of seems to be in the camp right now of that. I assume most of this negative feedback is because of the performance. So if you're going to play on PC, just keep in mind like that. Like, it hasn't stopped me from playing the game or anything like that, but there have been sections where I've noticed where I'm like, wow, this is running pretty bad. I'm like getting flashbacks of Blighttown from Dark Souls on PS3, which is notoriously dog shit. So keep that in mind. PS5 Pro, Xbox, all that stuff. I have no idea how those run because I've been playing on Steam. But this is a traditional Souls-like, especially from the front. If you look at it, ancient China, demons, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, Colin's favorite kind of shit. But I will say the combat's fluid overall, pretty fluid. It doesn't feel like, I prefer like Stellar Blade's combat to this game so far. Like, I think Stellar Blade felt really good. Like, you played through Stellar Blade too. Like, that was a good feeling game. Really good. It wasn't as quite like Souls as this game is. Stellar Blade had more action game elements in it as well. I would say this is like much more of a traditional Souls-like feel and kind of mechanic wise. So I'll just talk about some of the stuff that separates it from the genre in some regards. One of the things is this like kind of madness mechanic you have. So when you're playing the game, if you die, this madness meter goes up and you can see it kind of building up on your character. And basically when it gets to a certain level, it spawns a demon that comes out and kind of fights you, almost like another player invading you. There is no there's no PvP in this game. There is no online multiplayer or anything like that. But it's like an NPC kind of invades your game, if you will, and fights you. They're pretty tough early on, but not so tough now. So there's like that whole madness mechanic, and I think it's okay. Personally, like to me, as someone who's played Souls games for a long time, the whole idea of invasions and stuff like that isn't very interesting anymore. I get why people like it in the PvP stuff, but to me, it's just like kind of old news. Like back in 2009, it was fucking insane. Like that whole mechanic of someone invading your game is rad. 2011 with Dark Souls, but it's not very special to me now. But I get why people like it. It's, you know, especially in PvP, but this does not have PvP. So there's that, but there's, I think, 5 weapon classes to choose from in the game. There is one-handed swords. There are like a big 2-handed sword. There is axes. There is dual blades and a spear, I believe. And they all kind of play very different from each other. That is like your builds, I would say. Like if you play a Souls game, you know, you could be like, well, I'm going to go big strength build. I'm going to be a agile dex character. I'm going to be a sorcerer character. This is that game's version of that. And they all kind of excel in different things. Like I've been using the greatsword right now because there's a parry move you can get on it that I think is very fun. What's interesting about the parry is you can't parry everything. You can only parry like blade attacks. So if someone's like trying to fucking punch you or some shit, because this does happen, there's like humans and demons, can't parry it. So it's not like a Sekiro like in that regard. And I used some of the spear and had this whole mechanic of like the certain if you get like the third hit off in a combo, it would give you like a stack of something, you can unleash that stack. So there is depth to all these kind of weapons, and they definitely evolve as you get through the game and level up. Like, have you ever played Neo? You played Neo, Colin.
Yeah, the first
one. A little bit, right? Do you remember what the skill tree was in that game?
No, I really don't.
It was like the circle, almost like the sphere grid from Final Fantasy and stuff like that. It's not nearly as complicated, like Path of Exile, stuff like that. Not nearly as complicated as that, but it looks kind of like that. You kind of can go in different directions depending on what weapon you're using. But as you go down the tree, you get, you know, your basic stats like strength or health and stuff like that. But there are gameplay altering mechanics for each of the weapons. And as I've played through the game, the weapons and combat has gotten more interesting as I've unlocked stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Because when I first started the game, I was like, oh, it's fine, but I don't know if there's enough depth here necessarily. But it's definitely one of those games that feels like a slow burn mechanically that'll get more interesting. Visually, the game looks pretty good. I will say I'm playing on PC when it runs well. But like artistically, there's some really cool looking areas, like really nice bamboo forest you're going through. This is not an open world game like Elden Ring. It is very much a traditional old school Souls thing of like, I think Dark Souls 1, more linear path, but there are multiple ways to go. Not as quite as many as Dark Souls, but a good amount. I think the level design has been actually really fun and areas connecting in interesting ways. Like I love shortcuts in games, Colin. I'm sure you do too from playing Metroidvanias, but when you like, you kind of like loop back to an area you were at hours ago. You're like, oh, sick. That was awesome. And like there is a lot of that in this game, which I think is cool. That's one of my kind of gripes with Lies of P is I don't think while the game looks awesome and the level design's fine, I think it can go better. And I think this game actually has better level design so far of me feeling like the sense of discovery. So I'm enjoying that. But the game, the bosses I've fought have been really easy. The bosses themselves, like I've killed all of them, I think, that I fought in my first or second try, maybe, which is kind of surprising.
Interesting.
The mobs that I've run into kind of seem all over the place. Some can just like 2-tap you real fast and you're gone. Some not so much. So I don't have a great grasp on the difficulty for the game all around it. I've heard mixed things about it where people have said it's hard and it's not so hard. And some people have said it's all over the place. And that's kind of how I feel about right now. But like I said, I have a long way to go, I think. I think this is like a 30-hour game, 40-hour game probably. And I'm only like 8 hours in. So I got a lot to see still. But it's cool. I like the idea of like finding this weapon and finding the moveset that really clicks with you and building off from there. I think it's been really fun so far. And I could see like doing replays with other builds is something to give it some longevity. So I like all that kind of stuff. But for me, so far, it's a good game. Nothing amazing, but solid. If you enjoy Souls games, I think you'll have a good time with this right now. But it is on Game Pass also. So if you're curious about it, you can play it there. But it's on PlayStation as well, or you can buy it on PC. So it's available pretty much everywhere. But yeah, Colin, I assume you don't have much to ask about it because it is not up your alley at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just... a lot of this stuff just kind of blurs together for me. I am
I get it.
Interested in the I've been looking at Steam. Oops, shit. Sorry, I just pulled my box there. I've been looking at Steam, and a lot of the negative stuff is about it being UE5 and not running well, and all of the rest. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't mean to deprecate these sorts of games. I think it's cool that these kinds of games exist and that people like them. I wish that series that I cared about and types of play that I really am into were treated like this, but they're not. So yeah, a little bit of jealousy probably.
Well, there is a million Metroidvanias at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. But generally speaking, I look at these kinds of games and I would be more into it, I think, if it was more, a more approachable combat system for me. But it's like you were saying with Stellar Blade, I just didn't read that as a Souls-like game personally. And
yeah, I think Stellar Blade is like a weird mix of a Souls-like and an action game to me. It's like hard for me to identify which one it is because there's elements from both of them in it. Like,
rest assured, if Stellar Blade felt like Neo, I wouldn't have played it very much. I would have tried it, but I wouldn't have beaten it. So I probably wouldn't have been able to beat it. So like,
well, you played a lot of Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne I got really deep into, and actually that was the game I was thinking about when you were talking about the wonder and kind of the magic of discovering like a route through into a different place or coming into Bloodborne did that a lot, and it does feel like there's a lot of intention when you have in the design of a game when you have things like that. The things have to be designed with each other in mind is cool. So it's funny you bring that up. But yeah, so not much to me. I just know this is not my type of game. I am interested in how it's going to do, and I know 505 is publishing it, so they probably have a lot riding on it. And I wonder if we'll continue to get there's obviously a movement coming out of not just China, but South Korea and even Japan. Just a lot of these types of games.
Souls-like games, Like, what is it? Phantom Blade Zero is coming. That's a Sony published game. Right. Or is it a Sony published game?
Yeah, it is. Well, it's I think it is because Sony, it's a PlayStation console exclusive.
Which looks awesome to me, but it is. I could totally see, as someone who's in the trenches of these genres, it's like, they can blend together.
Oh no, it's self-published by the Studio S game, but it is PS5 and Windows only.
Okay.
I don't know why that is.
They have some sort of deal going on there.
Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, I was looking... I thought this was another one of the games where they were kind of saying, like, we're not really a Souls game, And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
But I'm not seeing that on the Wikipedia, so I don't know if that's actually true.
Yeah. But it's all right. We're getting Onimusha. That's close enough for Colin.
Oh yeah, Onimusha is great. Japanese, and I don't care who's making it. I'm saying it's a Japanese setting, and it's the action combat. Like, I love Onimusha. It's approachable action slasher combat or whatever, and that's just if they made Onimusha into a fucking Souls-like, I would be like, dude, what are you doing? And that would be a not unreasonable thing to do, actually.
Right. Yeah.
Does Capcom have its own Souls game?
No.
So that would be an interesting way for them to have entered the market.
Yeah.
So maybe even showed a little bit of restraint by not doing that.
Yeah, maybe. Now I want a Capcom Souls-like. Wow. Next Resident Evil game. All right. Cog Psycho 100 wrote in, howdy summoners. Wuchang Fallen Feathers has been delightful. I haven't had any of the performance issues others mentioned. Fortunately, I need to gush on the level design. Every area has so many paths that ultimately connect in unexpected ways. Aside from that, it doesn't do anything too novel, but is another standout in the non-FromSoft Souls-likes. Brad, is this the Gunnar Souls of your dreams? It's been surprising to see the discourse around this game focused on Chinese history and performance rather than the usual. P.S. Shout out to AI Limit from my fellow Souls fans. Was that a China Hero Project game as well?
Yeah, I think it was. Let me look.
I want to play that. I've heard like it's fine kind of game when I've heard about it, but I would like to check it out sometime. Yeah, Gunnar game. Yeah, you can do some Gunnar stuff in this game. You don't design your own character or anything like that, but the lady they made is attractive. So there's that for you if you're into that. But it's a good game.
Yeah, AI Limit is a China hero game.
Okay. This is from Something is Rising and it's not the Shield hero. Hey, Brad. Is it me or is Wuchang overhyped? Wait, hold on a second. Let me rewind real quick. I'm going to go back to that last question. I just thought about this. Focused on Chinese history. Has there been a debate about this? I haven't heard about this. I'm not in the trenches on the discourse on this game, I suppose, but Chinese history debate is interesting. All right, I'll read this question while you do that.
Yeah.
Is it me or is Wuchang overhyped? The game wants me to play aggressively, but constantly pushes back on that. Enemies can attack you mid-combo, and your attacks and movement feel slow despite enemies moving super fast. The madness mechanic essentially punishes you for dying. Seems the devs couldn't quite nail down the formula things and have a midday. I will agree with you that the enemies can attack you mid. Like some of the enemy combos sort of seem like really long, longer than usual, and there's a lot of roll catching. Like if you get hit and you try to roll out of something, they have moves like lined up for that, and it gets kind of annoying. So I'll agree with you there. Did you find anything about this history?
No, I'm not
drama going on.
No.
I'll have to look into that then later.
Let me see. Many Chinese complain about violation of their history, culture, and war heroes. So it's about some. I looked it up here. It's set in the war-torn, plague-stricken lands of Shu during the late Ming Dynasty. And so I have no knowledge of that at all.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't really know what the fuck's going on in the game, story-wise.
I think the Ming Dynasty is like overtaken in China in like the 1600s maybe. So sometime before that. Let's see. Yeah, so it's... Yeah, I'm just reading Steam stuff and whatever. It seems like it's just about like the interpretation of their history, which I have no...
Yeah, I have no idea.
Knowledge of.
Interesting though.
It's someone saying it's like a woke Chinese game, whitewashing genocides done by minority groups, portraying the majority Han Chinese as bad, and the reason why the minority apparently had to genocide millions. Yeah, because I was just reading about this actually about the Manchus, who were like 2 or 3% of the country, but like ruled the country for a while. It's even widely known in the West that the Manchu king were doing countless genocides and trying to erase Chinese culture, even treated Koreans like dirt. So yeah, this is stuff I don't know anything about Asian history.
Yeah,
so.
This is above my head. I don't know what's going on there.
So yeah, you were right there, I guess. Cog Psycho.
Yeah, you're on the pulse. All right, Colin, I'm excited to talk to you about this. Kingdom Hearts. You played a couple hours of it. I saw you finished Traverse Town or whatever. You were about to leave Traverse Town.
Yeah, I was struggling there.
Yeah, you're struggling. You didn't know where to go. It looked like you're trying to... Look, I know exactly what part it was. It was the part where you would walk through a door and Donald and Goofy would walk through a door somewhere else and you had to trigger it and you didn't know which door to go through. That's probably where Dustin got lost.
Yeah, I was confused the entire time. It's hard to play games you like, and well, you do it all the time and kind of stay focused on...
Oh yeah, it's really hard.
And then, like, kind of feel like you're entertaining, and
you get like 70-60%. You lose 40% of your focus, I'd say, streaming.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm definitely not playing well, but I'm also not very good at games, and I'm not very good at this game for sure. Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts is fine. Like I said during the stream, I was like, I don't hate it. I think it's interesting. I understand the nostalgia for it from an age perspective, and that early PS2 era, and the way the games kind of felt more advanced for real. And I know Kingdom Hearts felt that way to a lot of people. I didn't realize how much it interplayed with Final Fantasy even at that time.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. But yeah, it's fine. I'm not opposed. I have to go back to it because I still have to fulfill the rest of my my situation there with the
contract.
My contract, right? My word is bond. So yeah, I have to go back to it, and I will, but it's fine. And
okay.
I definitely didn't hate it as much as I thought. I thought it was funny. Like I can see, I like the simple accessory system. I can see the combat being satisfying. I think the camera is a little fucked up.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah.
The entire like I was struggling in that boss a lot because it wasn't like a Z trigger where in Ocarina of Time you could have as the character your back facing the enemy and like rotating the camera, and it would stick. The Z trigger would be kind of dealing with things off screen, obviously, but keep you. It was vital to playing the game, and I feel like this game is 3 years after that on like another generation of hardware, and the camera's all busted up and it really made it difficult to play. I was very curious to see how it really looked and played originally, because I kept saying that on the stream. I was like, I have to remember that it didn't look like this and it didn't run like this. Like there's just no way,
yeah.
you know, so
30 FPS before.
But yeah, I get it. And it's cool. I'm glad to have played it. It's like something I've always been curious about, I guess. Kingdom Hearts curious. So, but not much else to say about it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about like, what did you think about the characters that you ran into so far? Like Sora, Riku, Donald, Goofy.
Yeah, it's I was too busy making fun of everyone to really get anything out of them. There was that one guy that was standing there with that funny stance on like a cliff top. He had like his pelvis out. I was making fun of him. Yeah, it's like I said, I just didn't expect like Yuffie. Yeah, I didn't expect to see so many characters so soon, or even really at all. I guess I just thought that there wasn't that much interplay. Also, I think it's representing an era of Disney or eras of Disney that I don't find offensive.
Right.
You know, like I can imagine the newer Kingdom Hearts are going to be way less tolerable for me because this is dealing with kind of golden age Disney for me. And so that's cool too. But I've barely scratched the surface. So I really don't have too much to say about it, really. Other than one thing I realized after the fact when we were playing it was like part of the reason I was struggling was because I didn't have certain things equipped that I should have had equipped, like that would have given me boosted my stats that I guess I found. And so I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying very close attention.
Dustin didn't help you out there.
Dustin didn't help me very much at all, to be honest.
Damn.
If I'm being real with you.
Yeah, you didn't even make it to a Disney World yet.
No. We'll do that, I'm sure, before the 4 hours is up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're going to one right now. So I'm curious what you'll think about that when you get there. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts is an interesting game. First of all, the camera is inverted right away when you turn like left and right. So that always takes me a while to get used to. But you play inverted, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So maybe it's just natural
inverted?
For you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I did have to invert. It's funny though that games were like set up that way sometimes. Like I think GoldenEye was set up.
Yeah, maybe
inverted.
Sometimes it's just inverted or not.
Yeah, but I play inverted. I can't play if I don't invert. Why? It's not possible.
Where you're at in the game, the combat. I mean, the combat in Kingdom Hearts 1 is like very archaic. I would say it's not until 2 it like kind of gets really upgraded. I would say it's like not a lot in 1. I would say like, but you don't even have like maybe one magic spell. I want to say.
Yeah, I didn't even have in that fight. I had nothing to work with basically.
Yeah, you don't have cure yet or anything like that. You just have items. So. Yeah, it's very, I don't know, old is how I would describe it. Like it all feels very old and it's not like modern in any way. It's pretty stiff and I could see people having a very hard time getting into 1, like the platforming, the combat. Yeah, it's not until later on that it really starts to get much better, but I'm glad you went through it or you played some of it. You got to see Traverse Town. I love Traverse Town a lot. I always love the music. I mean, the series has incredible music to me. Anyways,
yeah, we got copyright struck for the music.
Oh, did you? God damn it!
Well, it doesn't matter because it's like
I know
for our patrons anyway. But I thought that was funny. I was like, we have to be careful of that next time. Yeah, I forgot about that whole thing, man. That's annoying as fuck.
They'll get you, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
it was probably the intro song. I think it was probably that.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was 1 or 2 tracks only.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really curious when you play it again. You know what? I should try to be there next time you play it. Because I can actually help you.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because I've platinumed that game twice on PS3 and PS4.
Wow.
So I've been through.
I heard the PS4 trophy list is way easier.
It is easier because you can do a lot of them
Stacking.
in one go.
Yeah,
you can stack the trophies essentially. It's much easier. Ultimate weapon grinding in that game though is a complete bitch. Fucking hate it. So much easier in the later games.
Is it RNG or is it just a grind?
It's. Yeah, you got to have like mobs drop certain items and stuff like that, and like very specific mobs and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you've played RPGs before, you know how it goes. It takes a while sometimes. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you think about when you get to. I know you'll probably see 2 worlds. I'm gonna guess at least next, and what you think of them, stuff like that. What did you think of seeing like Tidus and Waka and Selphie there on the beach?
Yeah, the Final Fantasy X stuff was obviously a little much for me, but that makes the most sense. I mean, that was the most current Final Fantasy game at that time, so it was probably very exciting for people. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to look at it through someone that was going to be younger than me. I was a senior in high school, I think, when Kingdom Hearts came out.
Yeah, I was a sophomore.
Something like that. Might have even been in college. It was 2001, right? Oh, 2002. So I was maybe even in college. I was trying to look at it through an even earlier lens for me, where it's like, what did a contemporary 2002 7-year-old think? And could they play it? And I was a little surprised by how sophisticated it was. Like, I guess I thought it's not very sophisticated, but I was like, this is not a button mashing like nonsense game.
No.
And I wonder like how many kids just washed out on that beach nonetheless. Not any further. So I was thinking about it through that. Then I'm like, yeah, but like everything, this is really not for kids. It's just kind of ostensibly for children. That's what I've been saying about Star Wars, where it's like, this is for kids. And that was like always the cop out. And I'm like, yeah, the Trade Federation. And now in Andor, it's like someone's getting raped.
I never liked that.
Yeah, this is definitely for kids. Sure.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a cop out at the same time. But I was trying to think about it through that lens because like a little kid playing it on PS2 at that time, what do they think about it? And obviously the answer is a lot of them liked it because I think a lot of people had those formative years. You're in 10th grade, a sophomore, so that's a little more advanced.
Yeah, I was like 9th or 10th grade. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool, but I wasn't that into it. I just wasn't. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I'll say that straight up.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm happy you gave it a fair shake and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks. I mean, I had to do it. I had to do it. You know.
People were saying, I saw someone said you were confused about the Keyblade or like why Goofy knew about the Keyblade and stuff.
Yeah, like there's a lot. I was confused about many elements.
I can answer those for you.
We'll
save it though.
And at some point I was like, I found the 101 Dalmatians or something. And I was just like, what is going on? I'm like, where am I?
The collectibles.
It was very weird. Very weird. Yeah. That, which is cool. And I was saying that on the stream that I think that's actually really neat that you have to go find them all. That's cute.
Yeah. Got to find those puppies. All right, Colin, it's time for Sort It Out. Segment for listeners. We just talk about something that we're not too pleased with in the game industry that needs some sorting. Colin, is there anything you think that needs sorting this week?
Yeah, I'm not going to use any individual names, but there's too much fighting with people on social media in the game space between people that have, make content and have a position of some, I don't want to say authority, but some status in the games industry. And I just don't understand why people with platforms like get in the mud so much. I think it's okay to swing back once in a while, not even once in a blue moon. Like you have something to say, someone's being rude to you, or you have an opinion. It's like, do that. But I just feel like people just get in the muck. And then there's like this sort of, as the kids would call it, cope about being like, well, I'm getting a lot of views on my tweets and stuff. And I'm like, dude, listen, I have a blue check mark on Twitter. I don't pay for it. It was given to me. I had it before the takeover or whatever. So I think they just reinstalled those people. So I just have it, but I am monetized and I don't tweet very much, but like, you're not making any money on this. So stop acting like it's like a big boon for you and you're utilized. Like it's like, it's just nonsense. And I think when people get in the muck like that, it has a lot of splash damage on other people who think that other people in the space are also targets and will also get in the muck for them. And it just makes the situation worse. Like a lot of people should just be ignored and discounted for not knowing anything, for not being decent, and all these people that then make content about other people and what other people think. Like it's totally weird, So I just wanted to say, sort it out to all those people that are just giving these people, these barnacles oxygen, because that's all they are. They're barnacles. And it's not because they don't have audiences or this or that. It's because they suck. Yeah. They literally cannot have an audience without making it about other people. And you're feeding them exactly what they want. And I don't understand it. And I'm in people's DMs sometimes, like friends of mine being like, you need to chill. Like it's not, we've all been there. We've all lashed out at, well, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine you've ever done it, but I've certainly lashed out.
I've thought about it
at people. I've said a lot of things. I'm not above it, but you just kind of gotta.
Sure, we all lose it every now and then.
You gotta like kind of just cruise through it and not give so much oxygen to it, because then that becomes like who you are and like where your content is. People talk shit to me all the time, like on a constant basis, say awful things to me. If I responded to all of them, that would be all I ever did.
Yeah, so it's exhausting.
So that's where I am on that particular question right now.
Yeah, very good one. Just for me, because all I've been playing is really Wuchang. Yeah, sort out performance issues. Unreal Engine 5 looks gorgeous, but has been having bad performance issues, especially on PC. So you got to fucking fix that shit. It's ridiculous. I don't want to be worried about every Unreal Engine game coming out, and I'm worried about the performance of it. That should not be acceptable. All right. Bob Dylan wrote in, sorted out to Colin Moriarty. I'm not dead, motherfucker. Bob.
Yeah, I just thought you were. I don't know why.
He's still alive, dude.
You have to be. I didn't even look because I thought I was going to talk about this on Sacred. Let's see. How old would he be?
Oh, he's old. He's in his 80s,
84.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was dead. But what do I know? Obviously,
people are dropping like flies.
Sorry, Bob.
All right, this is from Mark Ham. Howdy, boys. I have a sorted out for Colin. He didn't mention anything about the Destiny 2 Edge of Fate expansion from PlayStation's first-party studio. He didn't speak about how low the number count was or the drama about Destiny players where 60% of players who cheated on the biggest Destiny event of the year, which was the raid. I know he doesn't play the game, but this type of information should be talked about as we see Bungie hit massive low before Marathon. Anyways, much love, guys, and keep up the great work.
Why don't you come do the show, Mark?
Come on, Mark.
You do Sacred Symbols, and I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
No, the real answer is that I wasn't paying attention to this at all, and I don't care. So
yeah,
it's hard for me to. I talk about a lot of things I don't care about, but like if I don't care and then I don't see anyone else talking about it, I wouldn't even know to know. So sure. I'm looking now.
You're not going to cover every single story, I guess. Like honestly, I didn't hear about this until like a day or two ago, and I was like, I don't really give a shit about Destiny. So
yeah,
whatever.
I just feel like Bungie's in a bad way.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. I
don't know, dude. Some heads are gonna roll. Hopefully not.
A lot of heads are
It'll
already
probably
rolling.
I mean, certainly some have, but probably more. And hopefully, and I'm sure a lot of them will be innocent heads rolling. Unfortunately. All right, this is from Dio Lixon. Sorted out weebs. I love Japanese game design as much as the next person, but why are we all looking the other way on some of this absolutely vile content? Motherfuckers will be shitting on Epstein and they go on Crunchyroll like, ooh, yes, Jeffrey Kuhn, you're so cool. I wish I had a harem. Get a fucking grip. I'll hang myself and listen. Whoa.
What happened here? Yeah. I don't understand this.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what this is. This weeb outburst is about. Maybe, I don't know, dude. Dio Lixon's got a grudge.
Did something happen with Jeffrey Epstein on Crunchyroll? Like I don't understand.
Oh no, I think because of the whole thing about the Epstein list and whatever recently. But I don't think Jeffrey, dude, Jeffrey Epstein, did he watch Crunchyroll? I don't think so.
I'm just trying to understand the connection. Like this is so like I'm like that's like what was just said was another language.
I don't know. Dio Lixon's out of control.
I love Japanese game design as much as the next person, but why are we all looking the other way on some of this absolutely vile content?
Maybe he's talking about like
on Epstein and then go on Crunchyroll and be like, oh yes, Jeffrey Kuhn, you're so cool. I wish I had it. Yeah. So what you're saying is like the things he did.
Steam content.
Yeah. I understand. It's like what is the connection here? Did they have like some sort of spoof on Crunchyroll of Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe he's like people condemning this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing in the list, but then being like, I'm gonna go play a Steam game where like stepsister, my young stepsister or some shit like that. I don't know. My
little sister cannot possibly be this cute.
Exactly. Yeah. Stand down on that shit.
I remember that coming to PSP. There was a game for that, and then that's how I discovered that was like a thing. I was like, oh, okay,
all right, yeah. Stand down on all that shit. All right, Colin, keep it up. The exact opposite stuff we're pleased with in the gaming industry. What are you pleased with right now?
I just feel like Kojima deserves his plaudits. I think people have already kind of done this because they've beaten Death Stranding 2 recently as well. And, you don't want to give him too much credit, but I think that Death Stranding 2 is just such a huge step up of the quintessential, as I've been saying, the quintessential sequel. And I want to give him a shout for keep it up. And the environment's kind of tumultuous right now. A lot of people getting laid off, games getting canceled, things underperforming and so on and so forth. So I don't think there's a whole lot to celebrate. And I think that he is one of the things worth celebrating, delivering something I think really unique and interesting. And shout out to him and the team. Yeah.
I haven't played this yet, but shout out to the Game Kitchen and Koei Tecmo with Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound coming out, which you and me are both very excited about.
Definitely.
It looks fucking great. I'm happy to see Ninja Gaiden come back. We're getting we got 3 Ninja Gaidens when the year's over. Because we got Black 2, or 2 Black, sorry. Then we got this, then we're getting 4 later this year. So it's a good time to be a Ninja fan right now, especially with Shinobi coming out too. So keep it up, guys. Good shit.
I just can't believe we're getting like a 2D Ninja Gaiden game. Be the first one in more than 30 years.
Yeah, what was the last one? Super Nintendo, the trilogy?
Yeah, the trilogy would be the last one, and I don't even really count that. I mean,
no, I know.
Was it would be like the NES games. Yeah. So 92.
What's the one that had the wind level? Like you're in the mountains and the wind would blow a certain direction. Was that 2 or 3? I think that's 2, right?
I thought there's wind in the first one, isn't it?
Hold on.
But I don't know.
I'm sure there is. I'm thinking of, because I had 2 of them. I had one, and it was either 2 or 3 that I had also. I can't remember. Oh, no, I'll look it up later, dude. All right, this is from Daniel Callahan. What's up, guys? My keep it up for this week goes to the Hamster Corporation. These are the guys who have been quietly churning out hundreds upon hundreds of arcade archive releases on modern platforms for nearly a decade now. Concerning the topic of game preservation, I feel like this team deserves a little credit for all the games they've brought forward.
Yeah, they have. I've always been interested about the economics of this because it has been going forever.
Yeah, and
they do just put out so much. I don't know that I even own any. I might own 1 or 2, but I don't even know what they would be. A lot of people play them for trophies. I know that.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah.
But there are a shit ton of them. Going back to the PS3. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I found the win level. It's Ninja Gaiden 2. Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Fuck that level, dude. God damn it. All right. Let's see here. This is from Abraham Phoenix. Hey, Summoners, my keep it up this week goes out to Dustin. The streaming content has been such a blast so far, and I really appreciate Dustin's ability to work out technical issues while also engaging with the audience. Looking forward to all the future streams. And hey, maybe we can get a Colin versus Brad Mega Man series speedrun stream. No, Colin would destroy me in that. Not even close. Anyways, I'll run bare ass naked down a school zone screaming, should we have connected and listened?
Yeah, thank you for supporting, Sacred Streaming. And Dustin has been, I think I'm holding him hostage.
Yeah, so he's paramount right now for this.
Yeah, so, but I need to have someone around, to like,
that guy?
I don't want to, I can do it alone, but I feel like I need someone to like kind of monitor things.
It is easier to stream always when you got a buddy there.
Yeah.
Just for even like dialogue and banter and reading chat and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So, I feel bad, but I really don't.
Yeah. But you can make Micah do it now in the future.
It's funny, man. I really want to stream the Mega Man games, but it's like, I want to kind of save them too,
Same for what?
For like a rainy day. Like not blow my load, as it were.
Yeah, sure. I got you.
That's why it was fun to play. Like, I was thinking about games I wanted to play, and that's how I stumbled on Mario 3. I'm like, it would just be
Zelda
fun
2
to play. Yeah, well, I had an idea for the Zelda games for 1, 2, and Link to the Past, which I wrote guides for at GameFAQs when I was young, and those are still like the guides that people use there. And
use your own guide.
Yeah, it's like had the idea of like using my own guide to get through the games, which would be cool because
that's a cool idea. Yeah.
I could definitely do Link to the Past. I could do all of them, I guess, but efficiently, it would be cool to like just use, like in Zelda 1, you can do so much before you even go to the first dungeon, for instance. Yeah. And it would be cool to just like knock all those things out, go get all those items and do all that stuff. And that's how I wrote those guides with cool maps and shit. So that's an idea I have. So maybe Zelda 2 would be fun. I love Zelda 2. I'm a Zelda 2 enjoyer for sure.
Yeah, I like Zelda 2. I like 1 more, definitely. Zelda 2 is hard as fuck also. But Zelda 2, I always get lost, man.
I gotta use my maps.
Dude, I need visual aids. Do you have visual aid maps?
Yeah, let me see. I think
that's what I used to do in Zelda 1 when I was very little, was draw like a map.
Let's see. Yeah. Like this here, I'll put it in the chat for you. And if you scroll down, you'll see some maps.
This is fucking crazy. How long did it take you to make this?
I don't know. Let me see. Let me look at the updates.
This is actually really good, this map. Wow.
October, December, January. So a couple months.
Yeah, that's a nice map, dude.
Thanks.
That's good. Wow. These dungeon maps are actually, because some of these dungeons get so crazy later on. I'm like, or they're called palaces in this, right?
Yeah, palaces. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are
coolest
good.
game though. But yeah, I was been in the Zelda 1 camp more. I like Zelda 1 more. Zelda 2 is cool. I like the magic, like the jumping and the stat leveling up. All that stuff's fun.
God, I don't. It's so funny, like reading this stuff.
Little Colin, riding away.
Yeah,
Has a little room in Long Island, probably.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's nostalgic to look at those. Anyway,
Thunderbird is a massive bird creature. Dude, you know what you should do is you should make Micah play A Link to the Past on stream with your guide.
Yeah, she didn't like it, I don't think, right?
Explode. I know.
Which really made me upset.
No one makes me more pissed than your wife. I argue with your wife so often about the dumbest shit constantly.
Yeah, it's hard to know when she's serious and when she's not too, which is like, you really got to do like some probing.
Yeah.
To get to the heart of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she's the best. All right. Let's see here. This is from Neo JD. Keep it up, Xbox? ? Lowering the $80 price tag is something that I didn't expect, but it's a good start. Yeah, like we said, they bend the knee. The games keep complaining out there. It works sometimes.
It definitely works, and not always, but it obviously didn't fall on deaf ears this time.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's the right move, Xbox at least, because, yeah, Outer Worlds, $80, not it. Call of Duty, you could probably get away with it, but not Outer Worlds. We'll see. Next year, they'll probably do it, though. Because, like, I assume next generation consoles, all games will be $80 instead of $70. It'll just be the new. That's a good time to do price increases, in my opinion. All right, let's see here. This is a game recommendation for the audience. I take one game recommendation every week. Not for us, but for you out there, the listeners, the watchers, because we get enough game recommendations and we have too much shit to play already. This is from Caleb Greer. Greetings, Summoners. I have a game recommendation this week for a small indie title called Just Shapes and Beats. It's a stylized bullet hell featuring dope tracks with various chiptune artists, and all the enemy and projectile movement is synchronized to the beat of the tracks. You navigate a Mario-esque overworld to progress through the cute story and advance in various stages. You can also play the game fully co-op. If you love chiptune or electronic music and want to experience one of the best bullet hells I've ever played, please check it out. I believe it's available on every platform. If you don't take my word for it, it's 97% positive on Steam based on 21,000 reviews. Wow, that's pretty good. I looked at this game briefly last night, and it looks pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, if he's describing it as bullet hell, maybe
it gets more bullet hell shmup style later.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of it, but yeah, like, because I think that's a differentiator. It's like Souls-like to action, bullet hell to like arcade shooter. Like, I don't like bullet hell games typically. Like, they're
Returnal,
crazy.
Baby. Returnal's got a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, more. I'm talking more in the 2D, like, sphere,
I know what you're
like
about,
the pixel perfect arcade, like really mega fucking hard arcade shooters. Like, I'd rather just play normal arcade shooters, like the one like Habraxia.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. I like the visual style reminds me a lot of Sound Shapes, that old Sony game, which was
Sound
really
Shapes.
great. Yeah.
Whenever I hear Sound Shapes, I think of Loco Roco too. I liked Loco Roco. That was a cute game.
Yeah, it's a similar period of time for Sony.
Yeah. All right, so Colin, we have talked about Death Stranding 2 a lot. We did a spoiler cast recently with me and you and Dustin and Chris, and you guys have talked about it in your show. We've talked about it on this show a lot. But now you're in the post game still. You're going for that platinum trophy.
Mm-hmm. I'm at almost 1 million thumbs up now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But yeah. So we could take it from, I could read these questions first, so you want to bounce off that, or I can just let you kind of go for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say that I'm 70 hours in now. I've spent Mike and I were talking back and forth. We play game, in the living room. She often reads or plays on Switch or whatever, and I'll play on the TV. And I was just telling her, like, I'm doing so much tedious shit right now because I just need to build out the roads. I feel like it's like if you just make the roads and then you upgrade the roads, then you'll just move much quicker when you're starting to like get all the deliveries done. So I've been joking around because I think Dustin's the one who brought it up. Is like I've just been pillaging Mexico of all of its shit, and then going on the, you know, like bringing in the Magellan and then going to one of the not cities or whatever there and just grabbing all their metal and ceramics and chemicals and then just bringing them back to Australia and going around. So I basically have like I would say 98% of the roads built. There's probably a few that haven't been built yet, like a few legs, and then I would say like 70% of it is probably upgraded. So I'm just doing that like very tedious work, and then I'm going to start. Yesterday, I actually wrote down all of the porter or all of the places that I haven't 5-starred yet, so that I just have like a mental list of that I can, you know, consult of grabbing miscellaneous items and like what I need to offload, because you have to be kind of efficient. And then basically I'm just going to get into the cycle that I did in the first game where I'm just going to start bouncing between places. So I'll just go to a random place, grab everything, then go deliver one thing, pick up one thing from there, go to the next place, pick up 2 things there, deliver one thing, you know, and that's slowly how you do it. And I think having built the roads and upgraded the roads will make that easier. And then I have to do a couple of like the miscellaneous trophies, and that's basically it. This reads to me as easier than the first game in terms of getting the platinum, and maybe shorter. It took me 99 hours and change to do the platinum in the first one. I don't know if it will take me quite that long here, but if it does, that would be surprising, but maybe it will. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I love it. I think it's
an awesome game.
I'm not eager to be done with it because I really am enjoying the process, but I am eager to like move on.
That's such a cool feeling though. It's like you're just enjoying the game so much. You just love being in that world right now. It's like you can't get enough. That's such a special feeling in games that I rarely get, but when you get them, man, you got to hold on to those moments.
Yeah,
so I'm glad.
It's interesting. I am like interested in the world, and I like the story and the characters, and I find it all very engaging, but it really is about the process for me.
Yeah.
Like I just enjoy the process and very specific processes. Like I don't like building anything else but roads. I don't build anything else but roads. Everything else is there in the world. And the more you like, you know, solidify your connections and spread your connections with other random players, the more your world is populated with shit. And it's really, so I just really focus on the task at hand, and just every delivery I do is S ranked. And if I mess something up along the way, then I just restart the mission and, or relinquish the mission. And then you have to wait a little while for it to repopulate at that place. And then you take it again. So I'm just trying to like, I'm really just enjoying the process of like raising the star rankings and getting things to and fro and watching my numbers increase. And I love driving on the roads and pressing L1 and it pulses out. And then you see the names that, and the thumbs up equivalent to the people that have contributed to that road. And it's like various names are like 1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000. And then it's like Long Island Viper, like 650,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? And it's cool that people are like, that it's benefiting other people in their games.
Sense of community. I love it.
And yeah, and it's an asymmetric sense of community that I said is. I've said this before, and I wonder if other people feel like this. Is it's most akin to Journey, and that also for me, and that also really connected with me is like the asymmetric distance. It's probably very similar to having. It's very similar to like a Ghost Racer in like a racing game. You know, you see those like really sad things of like, you know, a guy still plays a GameCube version of Mario Kart Double Dash because his brother's ghost is in there or whatever. And his brother died or whatever. And it's like that kind of fleeting, ephemeral, I don't know. There's something that games do. Like only games can do it. Only games can really make you feel like someone else was there, and the emptiness and loneliness of a place. Songs can feel empty and lonely, but they're not. They're audio files. Like you're in a space. That's why I love that. I love this thing. I've seen go around just clips of it, but I got to check it out. It's like someone like goes into these various dead games and like, or like dying games, and just kind of walks around and looks around and experiences it as kind of like almost a liminal space.
Yeah.
So there's something about, so anyway, what I'm saying is like, I know a lot of people are into the story and stuff, and I'm like, the story's cool. The characters are great. But it's like definitely less on the spectrum of Metal Gear for me, like where that was much more important to me in those games was the story. And here it's really about the process and the gameplay. I just think it's so fun. And I don't even, you know, the stories, I would enjoy it even if the story was half as good.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you a question here. Fizzant, whenever it comes out, What do you think the percentage chance will be of a cyborg ninja being in the game?
Almost 100%, I would assume. Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing is that there's so much. Even when I was looking at like font choices and like there's so much Metal Gear in Death Stranding, and I think that so I think that they'll fully recapture that. The cyborg ninja thing is funny because it was like I actually said that because I said that to Micah when I was playing because he appeared for the first time in the game, that character or whatever, and I was like, it's like cyborg fucking ninja.
Cyborg ninja.
It was awesome. I mean, Cyborg Ninja is like an amazing character. That guy is nowhere near Cyborg Ninja. It's not even, but very similar.
Gray Fox,
right? Well, now I don't want to get too deep into it, but
love Gray Fox.
I love ninjas. Right.
Yeah, ninjas are cool.
Katanas, masked faces.
Mm-hmm. They're good shit.
Throwing stars.
Yeah.
Caltrops. I'll just keep naming things.
Yeah, ninja tools. Yeah.
Smoke bombs.
There you go. Yeah. This is from Bill Harding. Hey, fellas. I felt like there was a large variety of musical genres in Death Stranding in the latest entry. Are there any track highlights for you? Magnolian was the biggest one for me. That Indigo song is super catchy.
I thought so as well. And that it was more diverse, like the tracks were more diverse. I don't know. I'd have to go back through to figure out like which songs I really liked because there were some songs I liked. I just don't remember what they are.
Mm-hmm,
but I will say that one thing that I was surprised about, and maybe this wasn't a surprise, I really did tune out of this game. Like I really didn't know anything about this game going into it. I didn't even know that it took place in Australia. That was actually spoiled for me before I played it, but after it came out, and then I was so mad about that I went and like looked. I just read the Wikipedia, like not the like like the little synopsis where it's like a little paragraph.
Yeah,
and like what is known, and it's like said it in the first sentence. I was like, all right, so this is like a thing that people knew, so I'm not that upset about it. But that was how disconnected I was from it. But so maybe this was going to be known, but I was surprised by how much Low Roar was in the game. That was in terms of the soundtrack. That was the biggest surprise for me. Was I guess how much his estate got set up, or how much he was involved right after the first game came out, or unreleased tracks, or if some of them might have been reiterative tracks, I don't know, or reiterated tracks, I don't know. But and then the nice little, it's not a spoiler, but the touch at the end that it's like dedicated to him is cool.
Yeah.
So but as far as individual tracks, I don't know. A lot of really somber stuff, obviously, but yeah, like a lot of dancier, more electronic stuff too was in there.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 is an amazing game. That or DK is my game of the year so far. They're completely different, but I love them both. They're great. Shout out Death Stranding 2. Good shit, Kojima. All right, final thing here, Colin. Mario 3. You streamed this last week with Dustin for a little bit. You made it to World 7. How was it revisiting this classic?
It's such a perfect game.
Or
near. I mean, it is perfect. There's really nothing wrong with it.
Are you in do you like it more than World, or do you like World more?
No, I like World more. World is one of the great games of all time.
Yeah, World
is more. Mario 3 on steroids, and with backtracking and replaying stages and secret areas in the Star World, and so like it's a much more dynamic game. It's like Zelda to Zelda Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
And like Link to the Past is obviously better than the original Zelda, but the original Zelda is so good. And so yeah, I feel the same way here. And Mario 3 is a more primitive game, but it's funny, like it just plays perfectly and feels perfect. It's really like the perfect game. And I wanted to sit down and 100% it. I got through to the 7th world before I lost all my lives. I have no excuses to make. I think that's actually pretty good performance. But there were a few things that Dustin was pointing out to me. He's like, well, I kept losing the scrolling. Like
the auto scroll levels?
The
bonus thing at the end?
Yeah, the bonus stages. I'm trying to think of the spade or whatever.
Yeah. Do.
And
yeah.
I really had like a rhythm when I was younger, like where I could nail that almost every time. And I didn't get almost any. And I was like, it's so weird. Like I don't. And he was saying like it's because you're playing on like through emulation on through Switch. I was playing on Switch, but through an emulation on a flat screen or whatever. So I was like, that's a little disappointing. So I probably honestly should have had like 30 or 40 more lives than I did. But even then, there was an awesome moment in the stream where I was on my last life, like 0x. And I like roared back and like survived, got like the stars, 3 stars
you
at the end, got
rallied.
5
Cool.
lives back, and then like started. But ultimately in the 7th world, I encountered a part like I was really struggling with, which was just based on the music box platforms and like the rhythm of pressing A on them and you have to let go. It's like, it's not predictable. And if you either get that long jump or that short jump and you just go right into the pit. And I just like, I lost so many lives on that. I was like so frustrated. But I'm not going to blame it on the controller or anything like that. I was playing on the Pro controller.
Right.
It's not ideal, but it's fine.
No, it's not an NES controller.
I'd rather play on the NES controller. The second best thing to play on would be like a Wiimote, like a sideways Wiimote, which I thought was an awesome replicant of the controller, actually. Which is why Wii was so fun with the Virtual Console, because it just I was like, yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly the way.
I miss the Virtual Console so much.
It's funny because there was a time where I quit out of the game to see something about getting rid of the borders, I think. I made a save state, and then I just went in and I was scrolling through the NES games just on the online thing. And I'm like, this is amazing, dude. Like you just have access to like all of these amazing games. I wonder if a lot of people mess with them or not, because I was like, damn. So. And one of the things I saw was like Journey to Silius is here. This is incredible. I don't know who even has the license to that. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing Mario 3. It is a wonderful game. It is a thoughtful game, a very nostalgic game. I was in elementary school when this game came out. I mean, this was a pinnacle game for people my age.
Yeah,
and
what year
everyone.
Was it like 93?
What'd you say?
Was it 93 or like 2?
No,
or
90.
was it earlier? Okay, it was way earlier. Yeah, I think it was
88 in Japan. But
oh shit, it was that. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember this coming out because I was like 3 when it came out. So
like it was 88 in Japan and 90 in the States, I believe. And because we got it for Christmas that year, I want to say.
Dude,
that iconic yellow box.
Oh my god, the box art is so good. That's one of my favorite boxes of all time.
Yeah, it's
how
amazing.
Can you not love that?
It's amazing. And The Wizard is specifically a really nostalgic memory for me. That's the movie.
I think that's where it's shown, right? For the first time in the West.
Yeah, that's where it was revealed for the first time. Like the end, they play in a competition and they play Mario 3.
That's so crazy, dude.
And
that's so crazy.
It was so exciting, you know. So I was in, like first, second grade when this game was relevant. And I was saying on the stream, I have really fond memories. So like my brother is much older than me, as everyone knows. So if I was 7, he was 18 or whatever. And so I would often watch him play games. And I remember watching him play Mario 3 like obsessively. And then I had like all of these airplane Legos with like props and shit. And I started making like, rudimentary airships like with my Legos and stuff. I was like so obsessed with it, so interested in it, because you had to like the rotors and stuff. It was really, really neat. So it was and the instruction manual is very memorable. Like so I really, really love Mario 3. And I was glad to showcase it because I think a lot of people don't probably know it all the way through, especially because of the whistles. It makes it so easy to cheat and just go through the game, which is great. And that's fine. I don't give a fuck. But in fact, on GameFAQs, the very last FAQ I ever wrote was the warp whistles guide about where they all are and how to get them. So really, really good shit. And highly recommend. Mario 3 is a must-play video game.
It's a must-play. Absolutely. You can play it on Switch too. Switch 1. Play it.
And then Mario World is like just.
Oh my god! Like
absolutely next level. And people say like it's like, well, you would love this game and these games, like these newer Mario games, the 2 and 2.5D ones or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, these are cool games. I've played some of them. Specifically, the last one I played was the one that came in the red box on Wii. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, that was like New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Wii,
that was like when it came to, because that started on
DS.
Yes, right. And then I played that. So that was even the last time I messed with any of them. So I'm sure there's a bunch of new ones. But
yeah, Wonder was great.
But I was like, these are almost too busy. It's like the Mega Man 11 of Mario games. It's like, I don't need all of this. Like the reason Mario and Mario 3 and Mario World are so fucking special, and why, frankly, I think Mario World 2 is not one of the, like that game gets too, Yoshi's Island gets too cute, too weird, too not core Mario. It's like, you don't need to, and Link to the Past is another one of these examples where it's like, this is kind of perfect. You don't need prettier graphics or a longer gameplay or more dungeons. You don't. It's actually just great, exactly the way it is. Mario 3 is one of those games. It's a fucking absolute banger, like 10 out of 10, easy. Nothing wrong with it. Like really nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like what is a problem with Mario 3 that someone has?
I'm trying to think. No. Off the top
If
of my
anything,
head,
it's incredible like how much they did and like how early that game was. It's incredible that they were making that game in 87, 88. I mean, it's way more advanced than shit that would come to NES 6 years later. Literally.
Yeah.
Like the late 93, 94 NES games, like a lot of those are not on the level of a Mario 3, and it's incredible.
How cool is it playing Mario 1 through 3 on NES, and they're just like completely different games? It's insane.
It's super cool. It makes me, it bums me out that there was this, like it's so funny. Nintendo especially had these notions of what a Western and an American gamer was, that we didn't like hard games. We didn't want repetitive games. They were very risk averse and shit. And I wonder like what it would have been like if they just treated us normally. Yeah. Like, oh, they want Dragon Warrior, like Squaresoft realizing like Dragon Warrior games were years late. Dragon Quest games, they want Mario 2, like the real one. And we can give them this other weird game too, but they just had this idea about us. That's so strange. And that's represented in the differences between the Mario games as we experience them, because they didn't experience them like that. Yeah. And there is much more of a linear path between Mario 1, 2, and 3 as they experienced it. And we didn't even know anything about that Mario 2 until the SNES era. So
yeah, Lost Levels. But yeah.
The Lost Levels was mind blowing. I was like, what? Like I was like, what is this? Yeah. Yeah. And All Stars was so fucking good. I mean, that was like,
oh my God, at the time. Yeah. Especially, dude. Yeah. What a steal.
Well, I mean, incredible. And there just weren't, we were talking about the Ninja Gaiden collection. Like that was a much more obscure SNES collection, but there weren't very many of those at all.
No.
We almost take that shit for granted today because they re-release things constantly, but Mario All-Stars it was not a given that they would do that.
Yeah. And they remade a lot of visuals in that game.
Right. Yeah. And then they started getting carried away because then the advanced games came out and like, it's like, all right, enough already. But it was very novel and cool at the time.
Yeah.
I thought.
Absolutely it was. All right, let's end the show with some write-ins for the audience. If you want to write into the show, I post a thread every Saturday calling for your submissions, so keep an eye out there on our Patreon. This is from Hugh Jalode. Hey, Colin. I know you remarked wanting to play through Final Fantasy 13 again if Square Enix ever ported to PS4/5, but did you ever check out 12 Zodiac Age since it released on PS4? The same goes for you, Brad. Recently, I picked it up and I'm having a blast with it for the first time. Cheers, Hugh J.
Thanks, Hugh Jalode, for writing in. You ever see those videos? Dustin and I laugh about them sometimes, and Mike and I laugh about them too, with like a town council that's like being streamed to nobody, and they're like naming all these names. They don't realize they're like horrible. I own, as I understand, Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age because I think I bought it when it was on sale at some point, but I have not played Final Fantasy 12 since 2007, probably. I wrote the strategy guide for it at IGN when I was a senior in college, I recall. And so, yeah, it would have been in that era. And since then, I don't think I've played it at all. I really liked it, actually. I remember calling it a pseudo MMO at the time, just the way it
dude. Yeah. As someone who played Final Fantasy 11 at that time, I was like, this is so weird. It is like a single player MMO.
But I definitely liked it. It felt, I remember it being very, more so than any Final Fantasy, even 10, certainly, but more than any of the other ones. It felt more dynamic, like you could really control characters and build different sorts of things. And
right.
There was just a dynamism to it that didn't exist in other Final Fantasy games before. And it felt like they were trying something new. And that was what I've been trying to say about Final Fantasy forever, since people have been criticizing 16 so much, especially over the last couple of years, is like Final Fantasy always changed. I don't know what that was. Again, we contrast Final Fantasy Dragon Quest so much, and why they make so much sense in the same families, because one represents like true tradition and one represents something that was actually always trying to do different things. And there are generations of Final Fantasy games, 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, 10, 11. You can even say 10 and 12 in some way, and 11 on its own, 11 and 13. Then you have, 11 and 14, and then you have 13 kind of by itself and its trilogy. You have 15 kind of by itself, 16 kind of by itself. These are all different games. So 12, I appreciate that they tried to do something different. And yeah, I remember really liking it. I remember it being a very big guide to write, but
oh yeah, I'm sure it was.
But yeah, I enjoyed it, but I haven't played it since.
I haven't played it since PS2 when it came out. I liked the game. I didn't love it. I remember Vaughn was a very weak main character, in my opinion, from what I remember. I think that's a game, if I replayed it now, I might enjoy it more than I did then. From a narrative perspective, I think I could see myself enjoying it more now. But the Zodiac Age, I've heard, is excellent. The amount of tweaks they made. So I do want to play it. I've been meaning to replay Final Fantasy games forever, and it's just like, when is the time going to happen, kind of thing like that. Because I would love to revisit this game. I do have the collection as well, and I just haven't played it at all. But I don't know. I want to get to it, and I agree with you. Like, Final Fantasy changing, that's what Final Fantasy does and has done for a long time, and it will continue to do that.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah, me too. All right, this is from Georgito. Hey there, fellers. After Elden Ring Night Rain, my expectations for Duskbloods are through the roof. This makes me wonder what the madmen will think up that will create a new industry trend. We've seen all the Souls-likes. Currently, everything is a Sekiro-like. And I'm sure there are a ton of Elden Ring-likes currently in development. My question to you, is Miyazaki the most influential, perhaps important game maker of the modern day?
Yeah, like, maybe. I mean, certainly in the conversation.
Yeah.
It's unclear to me because I'm not a huge fan of their games, really, because they're just not for me. It's like, so I think you and others would have much more insight into it, is like, how much is he really involved?
It's not just him.
How can you possibly direct so many, like, really direct so many games?
And be the president of the company?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to say it's not him or he has nothing to do with it. Like, obviously.
Right.
He's an auteur level creator, Japanese creator, but I'm just curious about, like, how much it's him and how much it's others. And you can ask the same thing for Kojima too, but they just released so many fewer games that he definitely is deeply involved. And I mean, Kojima puts the fucking trailers together. I mean, that's kind of insane,
Yeah, edits them.
So I just wonder how much credit he really deserves comparable to the people that are really hands-on on one project at a time, because FromSoft has obviously slowed down their releases greatly since the 90s and into the 2000s. But it's not quite a trickle. They're getting things out most years, and that just seems like a lot. So that's my question. Do you have any insight into that?
Well, I mean, he didn't direct Night Rain or anything like that, I know. But he has some, like, there's only so much he can do. And I think there's a lot of talented people, like you're saying, that don't get the kind of credit. But
Japanese studios seem to be happy to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, they like to have, like, put a couple people on a pedestal sort of thing. I think we see that stuff at, like, Square Enix and stuff as well. But I don't know. He definitely has some sort of impact in all the games he directs. You can see a little bit of that flavor there. But at the same time, it's like, From Software did a lot of that kind of stuff, like, before he was even there. Like, this dark fantasy things that he loves to do was something they've been doing since Kingsfield, Right. And you go back to, like, Shadow Tower and all that kind of stuff. Like, they love all that kind of shit. So he was kind of like a perfect fit for that company. But I think he is a genius and definitely one of the most influential people, maybe right now, currently. I'm trying to think who is kind of in that realm right now. Of course, there's auteurs and stuff like that. Like, Kojima is still incredibly relevant. Neil Druckmann is still incredibly relevant. Stuff like that. But he definitely, his impact seemed to mold the modern industry more than others than I could think of off the top of my head.
Definitely. I mean, Night Rain, like he was saying, he was saying about is like how well Night Rain is doing critically and how much people like it, but I'm shocked by how many people are playing it.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought it was going to do pretty well. I didn't know if it was going to translate. Like, they were really, that's probably such a high profit game.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is. They reuse so much assets in that game. Yeah, of course.
And I just didn't know. It's interesting. Like, I just don't understand the Soulsborne space. And I don't mean that as an insult. Like, I know. I don't understand it, because it's like, why would you want this? Like, this doesn't seem to be, I know people bounce into other people's games and help out and stuff, but like, it's like, you want to play this multiplayer straight up. I wouldn't have thought that.
It's weird because it's one of my favorite games of the year. I have gripes with it too, and I think there's a lot they can do to make it better, but it's like, there's something about it that is so addicting and works really well. And I think the price tag really helped with that game to ease people in. $40, dude?
$40, yeah, it's very affordable. Very reasonable.
Yeah, it's like pretty low risk entry for a lot of people. You get a lot of people that are like, oh, $40, sure, I'll play. It's like, that game doesn't have fucking cross-play, and it's on so many platforms still. From Software doesn't still have the best technical chops performance-wise on their games, but there's undeniable magic there in whatever they put out.
It's just multiplayer gaming is dominating the games industry.
Yeah.
And it's totally not a relevant thing to me at all. It makes me feel like I've always been this way, so I've not really changed. But the industry, and there's always been a multiplayer aspect to it. We loved playing our N64 games and multi-tapping on SNES.
PC games were still huge in multiplayer then. Yeah,
right. Of course, I'm not later on LAN parties and all that kind of stuff. It's cool. I understand that, but I always felt like there was much more of a single player focus that seems to maybe have never truly been there to the degree that I thought it was. Because if we agree that there's like a plateau of gamers and many of them are the same over the decades, then either they've changed and their preferences have changed, or this has kind of always been the way it was and it was more distributed. And now there are fewer games that are sucking up all the oxygen, and there just happen to all be multiplayer games that inherently interact with each other. It's just a strange reflection for me, because I found myself in this world and in love with this world, and yet I feel like there are so few people like me. I mean, the numbers say that there are very few people like me. Night Rain made more money in its second month than Death Stranding did. Yeah. In its first month.
Well,
and they're $30 different prices.
Yeah. Well, you got to think Night Rain's on like everything.
Yeah.
It's even on fucking PS4 for God's sakes.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
It's just like, come on.
That's all true. But it's just the point to be made that it's like, this is like a side game.
Yeah. It is a side game. 100% it is. It's an experiment.
This is not what they really care about. They probably care a lot more about it now. I mean, now it makes some sense to say, like, do we want to make a real one? Like do a real with new assets and a story and all that stuff's present. Yeah, I was gonna say I know all that stuff's present, but it's like,
I know what you mean though.
A $70
game. It could be much more. It could be.
So
I wonder if Duskbloods will be a full price game.
Yeah, then going with the Nintendo, it's like it's very interesting. Very interesting. I love how mercenary that is. I would go with the high. If you're in no one would be more agnostic than me as the owner of a video game developer and publisher. I mean, I do own a game developer, but I mean like a prominent studio. I'd be like, oh my God, I'd make you guys fucking work so hard for me. Like if I were one of them, there's only probably fewer than 10 studios that can really work like that. And there aren't that many independent studios, period, anymore. So of prominence. So it's like, yeah, I would be like, people are probably fucking falling all over themselves to get with them. And I'm surprised Bandai Namco hasn't just they probably don't want to be purchased, but it's like, just nail them down, because they've really found success together.
Yeah, they really have. Yeah. Like the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion sold 10 million. Like, how crazy is that for an expansion?
Yeah. I mean, Bandai Namco is just killing it. And now Sony owns 2.5% of Bandai Namco. And so they're trying to, it's like very interesting. Very interesting. And yeah, it all goes back to Miyazaki right now. I mean, but yeah, I'd be curious to know more about the inner workings of the studio and how that all fits, because there are some dudes that really are like the crafty hands-on dude, and there are others that are the spiritual leader and like the businessman and roving between projects. And
I mean, I've seen interviews with him saying there's only so much he can do, and there's a lot of other people involved in the games, making it really happen. Because director, president of the company, it's like, man, how do you even live? That seems like so much work.
Well, right. It's like what Neil at Naughty Dog, directing Intergalactic, producing their other game, working on the HBO show, and then running the studio as the president or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's no doubt. Like, something had to give, and something did give. Yeah,
it's crazy. All right, this is from evangelical Christian zombie Solomon Fundy. Are either of you fans of Arizona iced tea? I'm sure it's not the only video on the company out here. Wait, what? I'm sure it's not the only video on the company out here, but Business Insider had a video a couple of weeks ago titled "How Arizona Has Kept Its 99 Cents" that I felt like Colin would be intrigued by. Love the owner. He seems like a legit dude. Sorry, this isn't gaming related, but I found the video interesting and just wanted to share it.
Yeah, I actually did see this video maybe a few months ago. But yeah, he's talked about pretty often in that he just doesn't raise prices, and it is interesting, but it's not. I appreciate what he's doing, but it's like that's a person that's done really well for himself, that is in a position where you don't have to draw as many margins, and ultimately he's kind of at the behest of a market that he has to draw from. He needs the water and the sugar and the tea and all the different things, and if those prices go up, like what are you going to do? I mean, I don't know like the nature of the whole business, but like there are loss leaders too. Like there's like Costco isn't making money on $5 chickens and $1.50 hot dogs. It's part of the greater gain of getting you in the store and all the rest. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I am familiar.
Okay. But yeah, I like Arizona iced tea. It's good. Do you like Arizona iced tea?
No, not really. I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't go out of my way for it. No.
Okay.
I like a sweeter tea.
You like sweeter tea? Okay.
Yeah.
I hate sweet tea.
Oh yeah,
I know it's big in the South, but
I'd rather not. If I had like my choice of like the summertime Southern juice or whatever, I go with the lemonade personally. Okay. I love lemonade. Love it.
Southern liquid.
Love it.
Lemonade's good. Yeah.
We drink a lot of lemonade in this house, which is probably why
really interesting.
Which is why I have a spare tire, probably. Yeah.
So if you go to like Chick-fil-A, do you get lemonade?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, or Coke.
Okay. Interesting.
They're actually outlaw. I think Micah told me this, that they're outlawing styrofoam in Virginia or something.
Oh, the cups, yeah.
And I don't know, so I don't know.
They're not styrofoam here anymore.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's so weird. That people don't realize that that's like a Southern thing to keep the drink cooler longer. Yeah. It's like
it's because you can't recycle it and stuff.
Oh no, of course, but who cares?
yeah, I guess at this point, yeah.
Think about it. There's a YouTube channel I really like called Practical Engineering. It's really, really great. And one of the episodes he did was about landfills. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting because I don't really know anything about landfills. And it's like, it goes to show you, we've thrown out so much shit and it literally is just buried under the ground. And like, you barely even discern it. So who cares if some styrofoam hangs out? It's like, whatever, man. We have bigger fish to fry, like
fuck them turtles.
Just send it. We have a plastic bag island in the Pacific Ocean. We have a styrofoam cup island along next to the straw island.
Yeah, that's true. All right, this is from X Store. Are any of you guys playing Ready or Not? I've been playing since it came out on PS5, and I have been enamored. The enemy AI is pretty intense, and the situations are interesting and definitely unique. The gunplay is fun. There have been some technical issues, and the community seems to be split on its quality, but I've been having a blast. I didn't even know what this was till recently. What about you, Colin?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Someone wrote in about this last week on Sacred, and I don't know if we took the question or not, but I think it's sold. Yeah, like he doesn't say it in his letter. I think it sold 1 million copies on console.
Wow.
So it's doing really well. Yeah, it has 12,000 ratings on PSN. 4.62. That's a lot of ratings for a game.
Dude, something
that means it sold hundreds of thousands of copies. I'm sorry?
This came out, it says, well, on PC, it was December 13th, 2023, but I'm looking at the Steam reviews. All reviews are mostly positive with 218,000. The recent reviews, though, are mostly negative with 31,000 reviews. So something must have fucking happened in this game.
Interesting.
That pissed people off.
Maybe crossplay or something. I don't know. It came out July 15th on PS5.
Okay. Interesting.
Of this year. And yeah, 12,000 ratings. Again, just to reiterate, that's a lot of ratings on PSN.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at the PSN store 2 days ago, and I noticed that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 had fewer than 1,000 rankings.
Wow.
And I was like, really? That means it's a little soft.
Yeah.
By their standards, that would be awesome for like a Lilimo game. So yeah, a lot of people are playing this game, and people wrote in because they're like, Colin, I think you would like this game, because there were some. Rainbow Six 3 could be played by yourself with like squad based stuff on Xbox that I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta like look more at the gameplay. I'd rather just play as like a solo unit personally, even if it doesn't make any sense. But I'm open to checking it out. It says team up with friends to stem the tide of crime infesting the city, enhance with crossplay. I bet you that's what it was. That might have what else would have changed?
Yeah.
And yeah, you can buy it right now on PSN for $50, and there's a $70 version that has 2 DLC packs, a mission pass, and a weapon pack. So that it's doing its thing. But yeah, I've not played it, and it's not on my radar really ultimately, because I mean, there's so many. Like we were talking about earlier in the show, there's just so many things to play. I gotta gravitate toward. But I am always open minded to new things, and I love shooters. So it's never say never, but I just don't know that I'll get to it anytime soon.
Yeah. One game I've been playing for a long time and I haven't played in like a week because of other stuff is Fantasian.
Oh, the RPG.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, oh, I think Colin would like this game.
Yeah, I heard, it's very traditional, right? It came out late last year, I want to say.
Yeah, it was like December. Yeah.
I feel like I went to buy it and it was kind of expensive, and I was like, eh.
I think it was $50.
Yeah, I'd probably get it cheaper now.
A listener gave it to me, a physical copy for $20. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll take it. Sure. But yeah, it's cool. It's very traditional, Colin, but I think you enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love traditional games. So yeah, that kind of came at a weird time last year. I think I was just playing other things. Yeah.
Like I didn't get to it last year.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out at some point.
Yeah.
That's definitely a game that I'd like to get to. I probably should just buy it and add it to my list.
Yeah, someone in the Discord said this, and I agree. It kind of reminds me of, I mean, a little higher quality, but the Tokyo RPG Factory games.
Oh yeah,
it's like higher quality than that, but like that same kind of vibe.
Cool. Yeah, a little low budget.
I loved those games from that team. I missed them.
I loved Setsuna, but I wasn't into the other two.
Okay, I played all three, and I liked all three, so I was sad when they went away.
I played the second one. What was the second one called?
Lost Sphear.
Lost Sphear, right? Yeah, Sphear.
Mm-hmm.
I played it pretty deeply, but I didn't beat it. And then the third one was
Oninaki,
right? And I played that for a bit.
It was an action, like more action combat game,
right? And I never beat that either. But I Am Setsuna was
I Am Setsuna is great, awesome game,
incredible. I thought it was just absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The music was
fantastic. Yeah, what a mood that whole game.
Oh yeah, the snow, the somberness. I Am Setsuna means I am sadness, right? In Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right up my alley. So
yeah, it's good shit. All right, final write in here is from Davy Supple. What's up to, dare I say, the two best boys of Last Stand Media?
You stop.
On multiple LSM shows of the past weeks, it has been brought up about companies reusing animations and the public outrage about it. Most famously, the quote, same rowing animation in the God of War games? Can I bring up the point I have never heard anyone address? Why the fuck would the animation not be the same? It's been a few years and suddenly he completely uses his arms differently. Kratos is now left-handed. He now rows with a limp wrist. Seriously, am I out of touch here? Has your walk changed in the past few years? Do you throw a ball differently? Do you use a knife and fork differently? My guess is no. Kojima has it right. Sam's animations are exactly the same. The game saved time and money, and to me, it makes sense that the bridge man would throw the same punches. Okay, rant over. I'll slide my jeans down to my ankles and get some lotion and listen. Jeez
Louise. I have brought this up in the past. I think not about Kratos, but it was about a same thing. It was Aloy and the jumping and turning animation as she throws a rope up. It was the same people like did side by side comparisons of Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, and I was like, why would it be different? Or you can imagine it would always be a little different or whatever. And it would be cool to have more dynamic, like kind of the same kind of different animations. But this is just a waste. Like this is the kind of stuff you want studios to do. And it goes to show you how expensive and complicated games are, that they even do little things like reuse those animations and people complain about them. But I also think that most people don't notice this shit at all. And I think that most people that do notice it either don't care or understand why they did it. And then you have a minority of people within that minority of people that are going to complain about it for, updoots or whatever. But I don't think most people really care. And
most people do not care.
I'll
say that.
We see time
in graphics too. I was going to say in graphics too. It doesn't fucking matter for most of the time. A lot of the hugest games you see selling aren't the best looking games visually.
Right.
Like Elden Ring, for example, like on a technical aspect, of course, it has amazing art direction and all that kind of stuff, which helps. But like from a technical standpoint, not even close to something like The Last of Us 2. Not even close. But it doesn't fucking matter. Is the game fun? That's what really matters.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that a lot of people, there are a lot of people that are hard to please and all the rest. And
of course, yeah.
But this is just the way it goes. And so I think these things make sense, and I don't think it's a big deal personally, but it is something people notice and complain about. But maybe we give it too much credit, but times are slow sometimes. You gotta find the news where it is.
You are correct there. All right, Colin, that's it. Wow. We are done.
That was fun.
Another episode in the books. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
On a Sunday.
No, thank you. You're doing this. We're doing this on the Sunday because we're going to stream. So
yeah, that'll be fun.
But the stream will have already happened by the time I would have already have won. by the
Man,
time
it was crazy when Chris dropped that N-bomb.
Yeah, it was crazy. He went on a racial tirade.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, jeez.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. Colin, anything you want to say before we leave, or should we just get out of here?
No, I mean, I thank you for having me. It's good to be back on the show, and I hope everyone out there is doing well. Staying cool in most parts of the world. It's It got up to 96 here today, and it felt like 105, so it's fucking brutal out.
Jeez.
But I'm gonna work out after this, and then I want to go in the pool today, but I gotta wait till the sun goes down. Or at least it's like low in the sky. It's like literally too hot to be in the pool.
Yeah, you don't want to get burned up and everything.
Gross. Yeah, and I'm sick of wearing I don't mind. I mean, I do wear suntan cream or whatever lotion, like the spray, but I feel like it like clogs my pores, and it's like I don't want to put it on too much.
Sure.
So waiting for the sun to go down and get lower in the skies, and then I just float around on my float and I drink a beer and I smoke a joint. I just look at my plants. I haven't been reading too much this year. I got to be honest.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I thought that was your reading time.
It is, but I've been really just enjoying it. Typically is, but I've really just been enjoying just. Micah actually makes fun of me because she's like, sometimes I look at you outside of like the window, the windows in the kitchen, like look out at the pool, and she's like, you're just literally staring into space like for minutes at a time. Just staring at a spot, and like obviously thinking about something, and so that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool, man. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. We appreciate it. See you next week, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.